Again? Hey, if I had automotive-style suspension like the new Simplicity, plus a free-floating mower deck for the best cut, I'd be all that too.
Well...
And if I had the expertise and advice of his Simplicity dealer, maybe he'd look forward to hanging out with me.
You don't have a Simplicity dealership.
Good point. Huh.
Yeah.
SL Bowman & Sons, 524 North Front Street in Rockwood.
Ladies, it's football time at Hammer Stores and time to show the colors of your favorite college team. Hurry to Hammers and get ready for the big weekend games, the tailgate parties, or game day Fridays at work. Choose from top labels sold in better specialty stores and upscale department stores. Put together a dressy two-piece outfit or go casual with a beautiful top and jeans. Shop Hammers and get set for kickoff now.
Evans Mortuary has been serving the needs of families in and around Roane County since 1976. As established members of our hometown community, we understand the security of dealing with people you know you can trust. We build our reputation on this trust. The Evans family appreciates the confidence the community has expressed in us over the years and will constantly strive to earn that favor. Evans Mortuary, 805 North Gateway.
It's time to look closer to home and energize America with fuel made in America. Natural gas is a cleaner, safer, more efficient, and more affordable energy choice. ORUD is your family's comfort provider. Natural gas is the responsible choice for your family, your wallet, and the environment. Gas is a great value, but it is also the best way to cook, heat your water, and warm your home. If you want the best for less, switch your house to natural gas.
The Harriman Utility Board provides electric, gas, water, and sewer services for the city of Harriman, as well as most of Roane and Morgan counties. Recent major projects include an upgrade of our 161 kilovolt electric substation. Another ongoing project is the rehabilitation of an antiquated sewer system, including an upgrade of our wastewater treatment plant. These projects will improve the quality and reliability of these services and meet state and federal requirements. For more information, visit our website at hub-tn.com or call us at 865-882-3242.
For 30 years, Reno Sporting Goods has been a leader in supplying the highest quality equipment and apparel for sports teams throughout East Tennessee. Athletes, fans, and coaches alike rely on the knowledge and experience that only Reno's can provide. For the best in team sports, shop Reno Sporting Goods.
Get yourself unchained from large pharmacies. Shop and support your local independent pharmacies in our hometowns. In Kingston, shop Kinzer Drugs. In Harriman, shop Chase Drugs.
The Harriman Utility Board provides electric, gas, water, and sewer services for the city of Harriman, as well as most of Roane and Morgan counties. Recent major projects include an upgrade of our 161 kilovolt electric substation. Another ongoing project is the rehabilitation of an antiquated sewer system, including an upgrade of our wastewater treatment plant. These projects will improve the quality and reliability of these services and meet state and federal requirements. For more information, visit our website at hub-tn.com or call us at 865-882-3242.
For 30 years, Reno Sporting Goods has been a leader in supplying the highest quality equipment and apparel for sports teams throughout East Tennessee. Athletes, fans, and coaches alike rely on the knowledge and experience that only Reno's can provide. For the best in team sports, shop Reno Sporting Goods.
Get yourself unchained from large pharmacies. Shop and support your local independent pharmacies in our hometowns. In Kingston, shop Kinzer Drugs. In Harriman, shop Chase Drugs. And in Rockwood, Live and Let Live Drugstore. Keep our money local to help our community. Your independent pharmacies help support local high school sports, local civic groups, little leagues, marching bands, annual staffs, yearbooks, and other school clubs and activities. Remember, in Harriman, shop Chase Drugs. In Kingston, visit Kinzer Drugs. And in Rockwood, Live and Let Live Drugstore. The next time you have prescription need, try your local hometown independent pharmacy. We were here for you before the chains, and we're here for you now. In Kingston, Kinzer Drugs. In Harriman, Chase Drugs. And in Rockwood, support Live and Let Live Drugstore. Be sure to spend your dollars locally. And please support our young people of today because they will be our leaders tomorrow.
Welcome in, ladies and gentlemen, to the Friday Night Scoreboard, brought to you by the one and only Mulch & More. I'm Chase Clem.
I'm Aaron Harvey.
And we're here tonight to bring you some hard-hitting facts about high school, college football, and top that off with some Tennessee football. So, this is the Friday Night Scoreboard, like I said, brought to you by Mulch & More. Tell them about Mulch & More, Aaron.
Well, you can give Gary a call. Mulch & More has mulch and
more.
They've got a lot of stuff. Pea gravel. What's your favorite one?
I love Mountain Mystic Stone. I'm going to do my whole house in Mountain Mystic Stone.
Yeah, they've got River Rock, Creek Rock as well. And right now, a $10 scoop of brown mulch located in Midtown, right across the road from the Roane County Highway Department, about 5 minutes from my house. I still haven't given Gary a call.
You need to give Gary a call. Call him tomorrow at 865-740-5229. Give Gary a call for a free estimate, not free delivery. Sorry, Gary. They'll deliver it for a price negotiated between you and Gary.
Right.
Aaron, let's go over some scores real quick for the fans. Tonight it was Anderson County defeated East Ridge 49-7. CAK bounces back with the win. We haven't seen CAK in the winner's side, so good for them to get back on track with a win. They defeated Silverdale 40-16. Farragut defeats Science Hill 35-17. Granger County defeats Sullivan East by a score of 42-21. Knoxville Grace Christian hangs on, like you said, to defeat Happy Valley 27-19. That was Rusty Bradley's 100th win as a head coach, so congratulations to Coach Bradley. Kings Academy routs Concord Christian 54-9. Knox Fulton defeats Carter 47-11. Hall squeaks a win out over Central 14-12. Notre Dame defeats Webb 29-12, and Knox West defeats Clinton by a touchdown 7-0.
That's a barn burner. I do want to correct this one score though, because somebody, if I don't correct it now, somebody will call in and correct it. That was Farragut was a winner 35-27.
27.
Yeah, so that was a little bit closer of a game than that. Some other games of interest: Loudon defeats McMinn Central tonight 49-12. Coalfield with a shutout over Midway 49-0. Oak Ridge a winner over Carnes 49-3. Oliver Springs, first win of the season for the Bobcats, defeating Harriman tonight, 42-14.
We're going to have to get some Bobcats on the line
Yeah,
tonight.
we need to hear about that from Oliver Springs fans. Rockwood, a big winner over Oneida, a really surprising score, 27-7. I didn't really see that one coming, Chase.
No, and we were talking about it before we came on air. I wasn't sure how that game was going to play. I thought it was going to be a close game. Had a buddy, Justin Gambrell, he said, no, he was full sheet mode. He was carrying buckets of water. He said, Tigers going to win in a blowout. I didn't believe him, and it proved to be true tonight. A big win for the Tigers.
It did. Another surprising score to me, Gibbs defeats Sevier County 42-24. South Doyle defeated Seymour in a shutout 23-0. Greenville rolling again, this time against Sullivan Central 69-0. And Union County gets the win over Sullivan South 77-32.
2 words, running clock.
Running clock indeed.
Guys, if you've got scores, give us a call at 865-483-8112. We know there's a lot of games we don't have. If you've got them, give us a call and we'll get them up. We want you to have all the scores tonight on a Friday night scoreboard. So, like you said, Greenville 69-0. Another route by Coalfield. They're matching up with Greenback next week. Still have that suspended coach for whom I'm drawing blank from Greenback for next week's game against Coalfield.
Yeah, and that is a huge game. That is likely, very likely, for a regular season region championship, because I don't see anybody other than Greenback knocking off Coalfield, and I don't see anybody other than Coalfield knocking off Greenback in that region. So you're talking playoff seeding. The team that wins this game will have home field advantage in the playoffs for the first couple of rounds.
And another, like you said, Oliver Springs with their first win of the season. That's been a struggling year for the Bobcats. They fought hard. They came up short last week, barely 2 points against Claiborne County.
Yep.
I was there tonight. It was a good atmosphere. The kids are excited. It's good to see that hard work finally pay off in a win tonight for the Bobcats.
Yeah, you don't want to get shut out on the season.
No. Let's take our first call tonight. Caller, you're on the air.
Yeah, this is Barry.
What's going on?
They laid us. What did they play? Who'd they play? I can't think of who they played.
Who is it?
Farragut.
Farragut played Science Hill.
Yeah, Science Hill, yeah.
That was a big win. They beat them by a touchdown.
Did Central win?
Let's see. I had that down here. I don't know. It'll be on the scoreboard here in a second.
Central got beat.
Central got beat 14-12 by Knox Halls.
Halls beat Fulton?
Halls beat Central.
Oh, I mean, who'd Fulton play?
Fulton beat Carter 47-11.
Oh, yeah.
They rolled.
Do you think Farragut okay to end up playing again?
That would be a Johnathon Cox question. I'm sure they can meet again in the playoffs. It'd be a good matchup if they do.
Farragut could win like they did last year.
Yeah, they can make a deep run if they keep playing well.
Yeah. I'm glad that my Angels are winning.
Yeah, they're playing really good football right now.
Yeah, well, have a good day. Have
All right.
a night.
Thank you, brother.
I'll see you later.
See you.
Yeah, with that win tonight against Science Hill, Farragut has won 19 straight ball games.
Wow.
It's a good streak.
That's a good streak. I wish our football team on Saturdays had a 19-game win streak going on, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I know what you're saying.
Let's go back to the phone calls before doom and gloom hour. Call, you're on. Dennis Peters.
Hey, buddy.
I've been waiting on you. What's going on?
Go Big Orange.
Go Vols.
Go Vols.
Hey, I got a couple scores here. Campbell County 49-13 over Powell.
Okay.
Meigs County 41-20 over Cumberland County. And let's see, Cookville, a little out of our region, but Cookville's leading Riverdale 21-16 in the fourth. Red Bank beat Sweetwater 42-19.
That'll be a big win if Cookville upsets Riverdale, won't it?
Yeah, Cookville's 6-0. I don't know anything about them, but they're 6-0.
I just know Riverdale, a storied program. I'm sure they probably didn't expect to get beat tonight, or well, at least looks like they might get beat.
Yeah, and I saw earlier tonight where Brentwood Academy was having a close game. I don't know how it is now. I'll check later. But
who was Brentwood playing?
They were playing Baylor, maybe.
Okay.
I think that's who it was.
Yeah, I believe so.
Well, how do you see the game tomorrow, guys?
Well, you know, the house always wins, and the house is Vegas, and it's about a 7.5 point favor in Georgia's favor. So Vegas might know something we don't. You know, like they said,
will it be that close?
You know, in the past 4 years, we're 2-2, and the 2 games we've lost, we probably could have won. Like they said on the radio today, at the end of the day, we beat Georgia. I'm not that confident, but you know, if it's just a 7-point spread, who knows what could happen tomorrow? They've pulled out all the stops, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, you never know. Never know. Hopefully, they can play a decent game anyway. Better than last week for sure.
Hopefully.
Yeah. I just kept waiting for him to turn it on, and then before you know it, I turned the game off.
Yeah.
It was 19 to whatever it was.
It was horrible is what it was.
Yeah.
Okay, guys, I'll check you later.
All right, see you. It's funny he mentions that. Tomorrow at Neyland Stadium, you've got Checker Neyland.
That's right.
Smokey Gray.
That's right.
Peyton Manning.
That's right.
And the old gunslinger himself, Brett Favre, coming to town.
Yeah, Brett Favre going to be at the game tomorrow, along with some other Tennessee Football Hall of Famers. Going to be there with Peyton Manning as he becomes a member of that Tennessee Sports Hall of Fame. So Chip Kell's going to be there, Bob Johnson. I think Peyton said that his old friend Joey Kent's going to be there. So going to be a regular who's who among Tennessee football legends and things of that nature. So going to be a lot of people there. I think the fans are going to be really pumped up.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's just really, really hard to read this Tennessee team.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think you talk about the games that they played so far. You come out against Georgia Tech, and you're like, well, that's not a conventional offense. We don't know how good our defense is. Well, then they come out against Indiana State, and that was a really boring game. You know, we didn't really learn anything from it. Lose to Florida in a game that they absolutely should have won.
Mm-hmm.
Won every single stat on the score sheet except for turnovers and the actual final score. So that's a game that Tennessee should have won. And then you don't win that. You lose on a last-second pass play, and then you kind of have a really flat performance against UMass. So you wonder, is the team kind of given up? Have they lost hope on the season? Or did they just come out of an emotional loss against Florida and kind of take the gas off against UMass? So I think the team has potential to be a really good football team. But, you know, we'll find out a lot more about this football team tomorrow against Georgia.
But, you know, according to our fearless leader, the past 2 to 3 years have been the best years of Tennessee football in 20 years.
Yeah.
So, you know,
yeah,
take that for what it's worth. Tell you what, at the beginning of the week when I heard Brett Favre was coming, I thought, why in the world would Brett Favre come to Knoxville? He is a partner with Orca Cooler Company, so they'll be set up somewhere downtown, I assume on the Strip, and it'll be a madhouse to get a Brett Favre autograph or a picture or whatever. But,
yeah.
You know, hopefully between him and Peyton, that'll bring Dormady some luck.
Yeah, well, I hope so. Well, and, you know, Georgia's starting their freshman quarterback, Jake Fromm. He's looked very, very good,
very well,
very impressive. But when you get into a Checker Neyland environment, you know, you talk about some players that have played in that. Last year it was Austin Appleby with Florida, talking about how the crowd really did play into Tennessee's hands and really hurt Florida. And also last year, Oklahoma, Baker Mayfield said that the atmosphere was electric and absolutely did play a part in that ball game. So, or that was a couple years ago when Oklahoma came to town. But that Checker Neyland environment is very electric. So,
and tickets also going at a premium right now. I've been on the message boards, Craigslist, Facebook, anywhere you look.
Yeah.
It's $125 a ticket.
Yeah.
So don't get suckered into paying that. Go scalp them on the streets.
Yeah, I'm a guy that kind of believes in the law of statistics. And so Tennessee's defeated Georgia 2 times in a row. I really honestly just don't see them doing it 3 times in a row. And I thought that before the season started, before any of this happened with losing to Florida the way we did or coming out flat against UMass. I thought there's no way you can beat Georgia 3 times in a row. But who knows? I guess we'll find out.
It's tough to beat anybody 3 times in a row.
It
Unless you're
absolutely
Florida
is.
playing Kentucky. Or,
Right, exactly.
You're in one of those streaks like Tennessee had against Vanderbilt or Florida, Kentucky. So who knows? Who knows what will happen? Hopefully the Vols come away with a close, any kind of victory tomorrow.
And it very well
Will
could
be
happen.
good. So
It could.
Guys, give us a call. This is the Friday Night Scoreboard brought to you by Mulch and More. Give us a call at 865-483-8112. If you've got scores we haven't listed, give us a call. Let us know. We'll get them up on the board, and we'll get things rolling. We're going to take a quick break, and we will be right back. We're going to go pay some bills real quick so we can keep the lights on. I'm Chase Clem. This is Aaron Harvey, and you are watching the Friday Night Scoreboard. We'll be right back.
Mulch & More in Midtown is your landscaping headquarters. Mulch & More offers mulch, the best topsoil in the area. All types of gravel, sand, pea gravel, either loose or in bags, creek rock, river rock, field stone, mountain mist stone, railroad cross ties, straw bales, fence posts, farm gates, and much more. Mulch & More offers backhoe and dump truck service. And Mulch & More can also demolish a house or building on your property, and they'll haul it off for you. Give Gary a call today at 865-740-5229 for Mulch & More in Midtown.
Reno Sporting Goods, your first choice for sports equipment. On the court, on the field, or in the stands, Reno's has the brand names you want. All the latest from Adidas, Under Armour, and more. From custom embroidery to screen printing, it's all about the game. For over 30 years, Reno Sporting Goods.
Really? Again? Hey, if I had automotive style suspension like the new Simplicity, plus a free floating mower deck for the best cut, I'd be all that too.
Well,
And if I had the expertise and advice of his Simplicity dealer, maybe he'd look forward to hanging out with me.
you don't have a Simplicity dealership.
Good point. Huh.
Yeah.
SL Bowman & Sons, 524 North Front Street in Rockwood.
Ladies, it's football time at Hammer Stores and time to show the colors of your favorite college team. Hurry to Hammers and get ready for the big weekend games, the tailgate parties, or game day Fridays at work. Choose from top labels sold in better specialty stores and upscale department stores. Put together a dressy two-piece outfit or go casual with a beautiful top and jeans. Shop Hammers and get set for kickoff now.
Evans Mortuary has been serving the needs of families in and around Roane County since 1976. As established members of our hometown community, we understand the security of dealing with people you know you can trust. We build our reputation on this trust. The Evans family appreciates the confidence the community has expressed in us over the years and will constantly strive to earn that favor. Evans Mortuary, 805 North Gateway.
It's time to look closer to home and energize America with fuel made in America. Natural gas is a cleaner, safer, more efficient, and more affordable energy choice. ORUD is your family's comfort provider. Natural gas is the responsible choice for your family, your wallet, and the environment. Gas is a great value, but it is also the best way to cook, heat your water, and warm your home. If you want the best for less, switch your house to natural gas.
The Harriman Utility Board provides electric, gas, water, and sewer services for the city of Harriman, as well as most of Roane and Morgan counties. Recent major projects include an upgrade of our 161 kilovolt electric substation. Another ongoing project is the rehabilitation of an antiquated sewer system, including an upgrade of our wastewater treatment plant. These projects will improve the quality and reliability of these services and meet state and federal requirements. For more information, visit our website at hub-tn.com or call us at 865-882-3242.
For 30 years, Reno Sporting Goods has been a leader in supplying the highest quality equipment and apparel for sports teams throughout East Tennessee. Athletes, fans, and coaches alike rely on the knowledge and experience that only Reno's can provide. For the best in team sports, shop Reno Sporting Goods.
Get yourself unchained from large pharmacies. Shop and support your local independent pharmacies in our hometowns. In Kingston, shop Kinzer Drugs. In Harriman, shop Chase Drugs. And in Rockwood, Live and Let Live Drugstore. Keep our money local to help our community. Your independent pharmacies help support local high school sports, local civic groups, little leagues, marching bands, annual staffs, yearbooks, and other school clubs and activities. Remember, in Harriman, shop Chase Drugs. In Kingston, visit Kinzer Drugs. And in Rockwood, Live and Let Live Drugstore. The next time you have prescription need, try your local hometown independent pharmacy. We were here for you before the chains, and we're here for you now. In Kingston, Kinzer Drugs. In Harriman, Chase Drugs. And in Rockwood, support Live and Let Live Drugstore. Be sure to spend your dollars locally. And please support our young people of today because they will be our leaders tomorrow.
Welcome back into the Friday Night Scoreboard Show, brought to you by Mulch & More. I'm Aaron Harvey, joined by Chase Clem. And joining us now, Johnathon Cox. He's the guy that's going to give you all the information on Anderson and Knox County schools because Chase and I have limited knowledge on that. But anyway, this is the Friday Night Scoreboard Show, again, brought to you by Mulch & More. Chase, they've got all kinds of products, right. But, well, I was just going to say they've got mulch. And I always have to let you know, or always have to let you tell people what else they have.
They have more. They have mulch and more.
That's right.
They got the best topsoil in the area. So give Gary a call today at 865-740-5229. A couple more scores run down before we get to the phones. Bradley County defeats McMinn County 49-14. South Green over Cosby 47-7. Lenoir City beats Walker Valley. That's a big rivalry. No, it's not a rivalry game. I was thinking of somebody else. Start over. Lenoir City 35, Walker Valley 28. Austin East blanks Scott County 26-0. Dobbins Bennett over Bearden 23-7. Pigeon Forge beats Gatlinburg Pittman 38-18. Red Bank over Sweetwater 42-19. And Campbell County 48 over Powell 13. We've got a full slate of phone calls. Jonathan, do you want to take our first call tonight?
Absolutely. Good night.
Make it a good one.
Go ahead, caller.
Yeah, this is Farragut again. Hey, what about Oakland? Who did they play?
I'm not sure who Oakland played, but I will get you a score, and we'll let you know that soon. We got Twitter, Coach T, and everything.
Farragut play like Greenville in the tournament, or in Oakland in the tournament? Or are they, could they play Farragut?
Farragut will not play Greenville.
What about Oakland?
No. Oakland's 6A, right?
Is Farragut 6A now or 5A?
Farragut's 6A.
Yeah, Farragut moved to 6.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I thought Farragut moved to 6, so they would have to play Oakland. They'll have to play Maryville. That's two schools you need to be worried about. You don't have to worry about Greenville. Hey, tell us a little bit. Did you go to that game tonight? Did you watch Science Hill play tonight?
Who now? Farragut?
Yeah, did you watch Farragut and Science Hill tonight?
Yeah.
How good is Science Hill? I got a lot of Anderson County callers that want your wisdom on how good Science Hill is.
I think Farragut could beat Anderson County.
You think Farragut beat Anderson County?
Do you think?
I don't know. I've not got to see either team play this year.
They could beat Clinton too, I think.
Caller, I'm going to be perfectly honest with you. I'm going to be honest with you. I like Coach Courtney. I used to coach golf over there. As I used to coach golf over there, but I'll tell you this. The one thing that scares me is Farragut has been known in the past, outside of last year, to have a game that they shouldn't lose in the playoffs along the way. And they showed me last week that that's possible by how close they played Knox West.
Yeah, they played close to West, yeah.
So, no, you don't have to worry about Greenville.
Okay. Thank you.
Go Admirals. You be good, buddy. I'll say this, and Anderson County people probably like this. The Farragut score tonight of Science Hill, I think gives Anderson County people more hope than they had before Science Hill played Farragut.
You see a game like that sometimes you think, okay, we can do, You get a little confidence after seeing a game played. You think it might should have been a blowout, but a lot closer game, and you think, well, hey, we might have this one in the bag.
Absolutely.
So
I do. I'm interested to see how.
That can also be a sucker's bet, too.
Yeah, I'm interested to see how that changes things because I thought Science Hill was really good.
Right.
thought they were going to be really good. But now we've heard that the last 3 or 4 years about Science Hill. Man, they're going to be good. Well, something's going on.
Are you saying they're the Atlanta Braves? This is our year?
Well, they hadn't made it to the state championship game like 12 straight years in a row. Got beat. Go ahead, caller. You're on the air.
What about them Rockwood Tigers?
What about the Rockwood Tigers? We were just talking about them. Did you expect a 27-7 victory tonight?
What I saw tonight, I did not expect. You know, the first half, seesaw back and forth. If we don't get an interference call in the end zone, they probably don't score. But, you know, it's 7-7 game going to half. We get about to start the second half. We run one play, lose 5 yards, throw about a 60-yard bomb down to the 11. Go in and score, miss extra point. We're up 13-7. I'm feeling pretty good. We hold them on fourth down. They get a bad snap, and I thought we got a safety. But they said forward progress got him to the 1. So we took over first and goal from the 1. Then the craziest play I've ever saw, McCain goes over the top, and I thought he broke the plane, but they hit him. Ball goes right to an Oneida guy, and I thought, oh, my Lord, he's going to take it back 105. He gets smoked at about the 18-yard line. The ball pops out, Trey Treadway picks it up and goes in for 6.
Incredible.
It just turned the whole ball game turned on that one play right there. Plus the fact their defensive line just crushed Oneida all night long. I bet they didn't have 60 yards rushing. And we made them pass the ball, which is something they don't do very well.
Hey, I've got a very unfaithful Rockwood fan sitting beside me here that just cannot answer my question. I'm disappointed in him. I want to ask you because I feel like you're a diehard. You're thick and thin. My buddy over here is not so much tonight. All right, you notice he's wearing pink, not green. Heck, I even wore my Rockwood green in here tonight. Tony Lambert would probably be mad at me. But what was the score when that happened?
The score, we were up 13-7 when the weird play happened. That put us up 20-7.
So instead of them going up 14-13 like you thought, all of a sudden you get the touchdown back that you were getting ready to score.
Oh, yeah. I mean, at first I thought he was going to go the distance with it, but somehow, we caught up to him. And just a lineman that didn't quit on the play, Stephen Johnson, probably the biggest guy we got on the team, he just crushed him over there, and then the ball squirted out. We got it, just walked right in from about the 17-yard line.
Hey, caller, could you do one thing for us? Could you get him a new green Rockwood shirt?
Hey, I've got him a white one.
Well, white one, give him something. I mean, Rockwood's rolling in here tonight with a big win, and he's over here in a pink shirt.
I'm telling you, it ain't right.
I try to be color neutral. I'm trying to get into the politics. I'm trying to be for everybody.
I'll tell you what he likes. He likes this OS helmet sitting out here in front of him.
I'm telling you, yeah. Well, sometimes they rule, so got to keep them happy.
Hey, was there a patented Tim Treadway halftime or pregame speech tonight?
No Tim Treadway speech. This is the John Webb speech. He said, I guess it's true. You practice or you play like you practice. He said we've had the best week of practice we had all week. They might as well finish it off with the best game of the year. That's what he got. The defensive effort was just incredible. To shut Oneida down from running the football at Oneida, just hats off to Coach Allen and the defensive staff. They had a good game plan, and it worked. They worked it to perfection.
And Rockwood travels to Hancock County next week?
We're off next week unless needed bye week, and then we'll travel to Wartburg. And I think we got OS and Hancock somewhere in there, and finally come home October 27th, I think, for Cumberland Gap.
I think that's homecoming, senior night, checker kneeling, Gray. It's everything that night.
If you don't care, send Chase a schedule.
Just going on the last game. But by winning tonight, it gives us a good shot to get a home playoff game, which is pretty vital.
Oh, all the time.
Awesome. Well, bring the Tigers back home. Keep Coach K and Gambrell. Get them all home safe.
They're on their own tonight. I'm going solo.
Hey, we're Vols tomorrow. Give me a prediction before you go.
Oh, my gosh. Let's see. We haven't beat a top 10 team since 2006 in our last 26 games. Check. We're playing terrible. Georgia's playing good. Check. All signs point to a Georgia beat down, but I'm going to say the Vols by 4.
All right, I like the way you're thinking. Thanks for calling, Diddy.
You either have something good to drink or you got your orange goggles on.
Carry on, baby.
See you.
Go ahead, caller. You're on the air.
Yeah, Sunbright beat Oakdale 37-0.
We appreciate that, caller. Did you go to that game?
No.
That's 3 in a row for the Sunbright Tigers.
Yeah, they're on a roll. And Oakland beat Coffee County 41-9, and Riverdale scored late and beat Cookville 30-28.
Wow.
So Riverdale comes back and wins that game like a state championship football program should.
Yeah, Brentwood Academy is up 21-0 late over Baylor, but that was a pretty close game.
I'm not sure they lose. I think they probably win out and win the state championship.
Yeah, they're loaded.
Yep.
Okay, guys, later.
Thank you, buddy.
I just got a text from the Rockwood faithful. Roll Dang Tigers is what I got a text that just said.
I just realized this. That was at Oneida.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That's a huge win for the Tigers tonight.
It is. You know, coming into the season for Region 2A, everybody's thinking this is probably Meigs County and Oneida. They're going to get the home games in the playoffs, and especially after Rockwood opens up the season with a 1-point victory over Midway, and you're thinking, yeah, Midway's getting better, but they shouldn't be playing with Rockwood, you wouldn't think. And so, really, that score tonight just surprises the heck out of me.
You see a lot of those 50-50 games start to go not in your favor after close win to start the season off, and then Oneida beats Harriman just 13-7, and I thought, well, maybe the tides have turned, and evidently they did tonight for the Tigers.
So, guys, what do you all know about playoff situation? I know you all follow different teams and follow a little bit of a different area that I do, and I'll ask you all first, and I'll step in and to tell you what I know about our area. But what do y'all see happening in your area playoff-wise? Who do you, for the callers here, your Roane counties, your Morgans, who do we see advancing in those areas for playoffs?
Well, Region 2 Single A, obviously you've got Coalfield and Greenback. Those are the two teams to really beat. Midway's played so much better. I think Midway's probably looking for that number 3 seed. And the way Sunbright has played this season, I think they're working their way into a playoff spot, which is just tremendous considering how down Sunbright has been the last couple of years. So that's the way I see that Region 2 Single A shaping up. I think I'm going to go ahead and make a prediction now. I think Coalfield beats Greenback next week. And so I think Coalfield gets that 1 seed, Greenback gets the 2 seed, and then I think Midway gets the 3 seed, and Sunbright will end up with that 4 seed next playoffs, which is a huge statement for the Sunbright Tigers. As far as Region 2 AA goes, everybody's chasing Meigs County, but Rockwood makes a huge statement tonight, knocking off Oneida. So that's probably how that's going to shake out. Meigs County will get that 1 seed. Rockwood is most likely going to get that 2 seed. Oneida with the 3 seed. And with a win tonight, Cumberland Gap should get that 4 seed. So that's how Region 2 Single
and
or
like
Double A.
The caller said about the Rock game, that's my father, by the way, that calls in and gives us those reports. You'd think he
needs
could
to
get me some green shirts.
I got one you're going to put after the break. You're going to put on.
to be able to win that game tonight and put yourself in a position for a possible home game, I mean that is a game changer. You're talking about if you're traveling, you're checking out of school early, you're getting on a bus, you're driving 2.5 hours, and it's just not to be able to have a chance to just go through your normal Friday routine at home, and the crowd, the fans dwindle, and it's been talked about, when you lose, you can look up in the stands and know that you've been losing and know that you're not sport. But those same people are going to come back for a home game and just pack the house out.
Well, and to score 27 points against an Oneida team that always has a really good defense.
Yeah.
I mean, you can say what you want to about the fumble, them return it, and then you score. And I mean, it looked like you were going to score there anyway. But to put up 27 points in Oneida against a Tony Lambert coach defense, that is strong.
That's a statement.
Yeah,
that is good. That shows you the kids have confidence on offense. So we'll get to a call here, and then we'll get right back to your all's playoff rundown. Go ahead, caller. You're on the air.
Yes, this is Coach Gill, Anderson County.
Hey, Davey. How you doing?
All right, how are you?
I'm good. I was riding home with my wife about an hour ago, and I noticed some stuff on social media about what you all did for the game, and I really respect that and love for what you stand for. Can you tell the people on the air here that did not get to go to your game from the surrounding counties what you all did and what took place there at Anderson County.
Well, in the pregame, our kids went out with the color guard and stood behind it to honor the national anthem, and in light of everything going on in sports, and all the protests going on, and people using the national anthem as a platform to make those protests. And, obviously not something many people in the country agree with, and not something we agree with at all. So we talked to our kids, and we didn't make them, but we asked them anything we did we had to do together. So that was something they wanted to do, and they were 100% wanting to do it, and honor the flag, honor our country, and all the people. We've all got family that have fought in wars, Vietnam, World War II, and we've got kids right now that dads are over in the Middle East, and we definitely wanted to do anything we could do to honor them. So our kids were all for it, and then we shot some fireworks, and in their honor also, red, white, and blue, and the boys ran out with some flags, and it was our kids and our community's way of letting people know where we stand and how proud we are to be Americans.
Absolutely. Now,
all the people that afforded us the freedoms we had.
Absolutely, and that's just a good sign of leadership. Now, I felt like that was very important for you to share with us, and I appreciate you calling. Now, talk about your win. That's a big win against the East Ridge team. I think, Davey, were they 5-0 and made a pretty good deep run in the playoffs last year that you all beat tonight?
I think they were 6-0, number 5 in the state.
Okay.
I believe they've been to the quarterfinals last 2 years, 2 years in a row. So, solid team, very athletic team. Very good football team, very athletic. Most athletic team we've played, but we played pretty well tonight. Got out of hand early, I guess you'd say.
Yeah, Coach Chow, I talked to him last night, and he was just talking about it's amazing how well you execute and how well you play when you're confident. And
yeah, you're right. We are, and Chadwell and that defense is a big reason why their offense is getting a lot of the hype, and they play well. They should, but the defense has really played just as well as the offense. And we do throw it, get a little complicated on offense, but we're probably more complicated on defense than we are offense. John's brought a lot of college and NFL schemes to what we do, and guys have had trouble blocking us up front, and the guys in the secondary have played great, and it's just been very cyclical for us, where we'll get a lot of 3 and outs and giving that offense a lot of possessions, and it's a dangerous thing to do to Stanton.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, he spoke real high of him, said he's very accurate and can move outside the pocket, and just a very solid high school quarterback and an even better kid. When I talked to Jonathan the other day, I told Chow I find it interesting he's coaching defense because he never liked to play defense in any sport we ever played with him. So, yeah, but I guess that's just a man doing what he needs to do to help his team out, right?
Yeah, he's John's a football guru. He puts a lot of time in studying. He's football 24/7, and when we're out of season, we're always studying this and studying that. But John puts more time in than the rest of us, probably because he don't have any kids like the rest of us.
That's right.
He's meeting with NFL guys and college guys. We don't struggle to stay up to speed with everything that's going out there because of John and all the time he puts in. But he's just a football enthusiast. He really don't care whether it's not letting coach special teams, and then he puts all in on special teams. If he's coaching offense, he puts all in. Whatever he does, he's going to do it at the highest level possible. So he's one of the best football coaches in Tennessee, period, and we're lucky to have him.
It runs in the family, correct?
Yeah, it does. It's a good family.
Yeah. Hey, tell me this. Who do y'all have next week?
We got a bye week next week, and then we go to Chattanooga Central, and I believe the way things have played out, it'll be between us and Chattanooga Central for the district championship.
Okay, and that's in 2 weeks at Central.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Well, man, good luck. We're proud of you. And I thought that was I got to see the video of that on Twitter, and we're proud of what you stand for.
Well, thank you. We got some good kids, good community. We're just trying to be faithful with the opportunities the Lord's given us here.
Absolutely. All right, Davey, thank you, buddy.
See you, man.
Let's take this next one.
Go ahead, caller. You're on the air.
Chase Clem, Coach Kegley.
Coach Kegley, how you doing? I'm sure you are ecstatic tonight.
Yes, I'm going to pass you off to Coach Green and let you talk to him, okay?
All right, thank you, Coach.
Yes.
Coach Green, how you doing tonight?
Feeling pretty good right now. How you doing?
I'm doing good, Coach. I was in Oliver Springs tonight, and you made a statement tonight. Your team was really close last week, picking up that first win of the season. How motivated were they this week to get that chip off their shoulder, get the monkey off, whatever you want to say, get that first win of the season?
Well, they came in Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. We had the best week of practice we've had all year, and I'm so proud of their effort and the preparation that the coaching staff, hard work, players and coaches put in. It just feels good to get a win, especially a region win, get you selected for the playoffs. That was our goal for the season, was to make the playoffs. So, but hats off to our team and coaches for the effort they put forth in practice this week, and it showed up tonight.
Hey, Coach, it's so easy as a team, when you lose a few games to get down and just maybe mail it in. What's that say about the leadership of your team, of your upperclassmen, to still come in on a Monday morning and like you said, have the best week of practice they've had all season?
Well, they knew that we should have won that game for Cleveland County last week. A couple of breaks there didn't go our way. And, that's the way these guys are. They won't quit. I mean, we may lose, but they won't give up. So, just proud of them. And senior leadership's been good. Got a good junior class, too. And even our sophomore quarterback, Blake Tracy, he's a good leader for a sophomore. So, just an overall great team effort tonight.
Awesome. Coach, who do the Bobcats have next week?
We go with Sunbright next week for another region game.
That'd be a big region game. They've won 3 in a row, traveling to Sunbright. Hopefully use this momentum, get your second win of the year, back-to-back.
Well, we hope so. We're just going to enjoy this one tonight. Get the film tomorrow, start on it, take a break, watch the Tennessee game, and get right back on it Sunday, and be ready to go Monday. Sunbright's a good-looking team on film. Big physical offensive line. The running backs run hard. Quarterback's a good runner. So we'll have to have another week of preparation just like we had this week if we want to get the same result.
Awesome. Hey, Coach, keep Coach Kegley in line. That was my driver's ed teacher in high school in a summer class.
He taught my 2 older kids to drive, too, and I wish he was still teaching driver's ed because I got one going to be 16 in January. And she's not driving that good yet.
Well, the roads are a lot safer with Tony Kegley at the helm.
Yes, they are.
All right, Coach. Thanks for calling in. Good luck next week at Sunbright.
All right. Thanks for having us on.
You're welcome.
All right. Bye.
So will that game between Sunbright and Oliver Springs, will that have any playoff?
It could.
It still could.
It very well could.
With the playoff scenarios, you literally have, and I'm no disrespect to them, but you literally have 1-win teams making the playoffs. So I'd say they're not mathematically out of the playoff system yet.
No, and that region, that's a really big region.
Mm-hmm.
You've got Oakdale, Sunbright, Midway, Harriman, Greenback, Coalfield, and like I said, those first 2 spots are solidified. It's going to be Coalfield and Greenback, maybe not in that order, but it's going to be Coalfield and Greenback, Coalfield. So those other 2 spots completely up for grabs. The way Midway's playing, you think Midway's probably going to get one of those spots, but it could just as easily be maybe Sunbright and Oliver Springs turn it on at the end of the year.
Second half push.
Maybe they beat Midway, and then maybe it's Oliver Springs and Sunbright getting into the playoffs.
What's disappointing, and not, I guess it's no one's fault, but Harriman just kind of a collapse. No disrespect to them because they've had a great team last year. They're just young. But just to see them not do as well as they have in past years is kind of, you're not used to. You're not used to seeing Harriman go out and get beat. multiple times in a season. So
did they just lose a lot of players? Their quarterback was a stud, right? He was just a really good athlete.
Yes. Yeah. They lost a lot.
Was it last year or 2 years ago won a state championship in basketball?
Last year.
So that kid that was a player for them in basketball and football, he graduated.
Yeah, you had a lot of those same players on the state championship team played football.
Yeah.
We always had a lot of callers from Harriman. We've not had hardly any this year. I was told, I got to figure out, and I'll finish my story first. I was told that Jermaine Copeland was at a game the last couple weeks, and somebody was saying he might be interested in coaching football.
I've actually heard the same thing. I'm not going to lie, I've heard the same thing.
I don't know how in the world I would have heard that, but we used to get a lot of phone calls. It was funny. They were always on Coach, is it Tapp?
Coach Tapp, yeah.
Always on Coach Tapp. Run the ball more, pass the ball more. It was everything.
Yeah.
And we don't cut down kids or coaches on this show.
Right.
And last year he won, and every Friday night I'd sit here and ask for somebody to call.
Yeah.
I mean, it was one of those guys.
Right.
I felt bad for the guy, and I never met him.
Yeah.
And luckily he called the show and give us a rundown. And it's hard to be consistently good for a long time at these. And I don't want to say smaller programs, but smaller schools.
Yeah.
It comes and goes in cycles.
It does.
What years did Copeland win and those guys win a state championship there?
Early 90s,
93,
93, 94.
How good were they in 98? I mean, I don't remember.
There was like you said, it's just
it comes and goes.
It
Right
swings.
now, Cofield, Greenback, and maybe it looks like Rockwood's got a pretty good group down there. So it comes and goes.
Yeah.
It's hard to sustain winning for long periods of time. If you don't believe me, call Oak Ridge.
Yeah, for sure.
It's hard for.
When's the last time Oak Ridge won a playoff game? I know for sure that I heard T. Higgins, and an Oak Ridge caller might call and correct me here. I heard that T. Higgins never won a playoff game at Oak Ridge High School.
Crazy.
Wow.
It's hard if you're not a 5A, 6A in Alcoa or Maryville.
Well, what's different? What's different about Alcoa and Maryville though? Open enrollment.
Yeah.
Alcoa and Maryville have open enrollment. So that means if you want to pay, you can live wherever you want to live, and you come in your freshman year and you pay the whatever $4,000 a year, then you're eligible, number one, and number two, you play right away.
Right.
Now, if you transfer in, you still have to pay and set out your year and so on and so forth, unless you move in the zone. Then if you move in their zone, you're eligible and you can play. But that's the two things people seem to forget. But Maryville and Alcoa does it. Well, they've got open enrollment.
Right.
Oak Ridge has open enrollment.
Right.
But not a lot of success out of Oak Ridge in the last several years.
And if those don't work out in Maryville, Alcoa, they go play at Greenback, and they're reaping the benefits of some of that.
For sure. Yeah.
Yeah. And so it's interesting.
Yeah.
That's a pretty interesting conversation to have. And I was actually talking to Jesse. He'll probably call in later, Jesse Smithy. But he was telling me, if you really look at the body of work going on and you take Maryville and Alcoa out of all those state championships, and you look, there's really only one or two other schools that's won multiple state championships that are not in open enrollment.
Right.
Basically saying these high school people need to get off these high school coaches' backs, let them coach.
Right.
And then I don't know if you saw it on Facebook, Coach Pemberton out in Ray County, he was getting interviewed post-game last week, and he just went off. He said, "We've got idiotic fans behind me that think they can coach." I mean, it was 2 or 3 minutes. He just went in on them. Yeah. And a lot of people don't respect, coaches these coaches, and they put their time, they sacrifice tons and tons of stuff for the betterment of their kids. And, it's as a coach, you could argue, why am I doing this? Yeah. When,
Right.
Well, you do it because you love coaching
yes.
kids. I've been coaching basketball at Fulton for 12 years. Last year was the first year I didn't do a JV or freshman team. And you do it because you love those kids, want to see a difference in those kids. And I promise you, every single high school coach out there is playing their best players and coaching them the best way they know how, because they want to win just as bad as that Jimmy or Joe sitting in the stand.
Yeah.
That might not have played basketball.
Go ahead, caller. You're on the air.
Hey, Cox, I just didn't hear you say that Oak Ridge is down, did I?
Well, David, the best I can remember, and you know a lot more about Oak Ridge football than I do because you are a Gaddis follower.
I am, exactly. I can
yeah.
see how many yards they rushed tonight. Do you know?
No, I don't. And we're more interested right now how many playoff games they've won the last 4 years.
4 yards, 324 yards tonight. And I heard you say something. I think they went to the second round with Higgins once at least.
See, I heard the other day from a pretty reliable source that he never won a playoff game. Now, I might be wrong, and there might be a caller waiting on the other line that knows a little more about Oak Ridge football, but and I know he didn't win one his senior year.
No, they got beat in the first round at home by
Walker Valley.
I can tell you.
Yeah, and they might have won one year, but let's just say he did win one, and that means he was 1-5 or 1-4. I would say that's down for Oak Ridge football compared to what Oak Ridge people have grown to love.
Maybe so. I mean, Oak Ridge 3-0 in the region right now.
Who'd they beat tonight, David? I didn't know they played.
Rolling right along, beat Carnes tonight.
A big win over Carnes.
Right along, you got a week off to heal up. They'll have punt the following in 2 weeks. I believe that'll be the last home game of the year. See, I know a lot about Oak Ridge. I know a whole lot more about it than you three guys do.
Oh, we're not.
I'm going to do a little research before you come in there at night so you can be up on this.
Hey.
Listen, that TV station is sitting in the heart of Oak Ridge.
I totally agree, and I will be the first to tell you I will not read up on Oak Ridge.
Talk about Oak Ridge because I'll do that a lot on Wednesday nights, okay?
We've heard.
Yeah, has somebody called in and complained about Coach Tapp? Is that what you're talking about? Or that's why I really called.
No, me and you, we sat here for 3 or 4 years together, and the good thing we said is for a long time people called in to complain about Coach Tapp. And then last year he won. We didn't hear anybody call. This year we've not heard anybody call, and we're sort of, we appreciate that nobody's calling in and just throwing him under the bus.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, that's why I was calling, just to try to take up for him a little bit.
Yeah.
I mean, his starting quarterback's hurt right now. He's got a young football team. I mean, you could go on and on and on. And in high school sports, I think, as you three guys know, you sort of rebuild every 3 or 4 years. It's like rebuilding. It's just like a college team. You got to rebuild. I mean, you're taking freshmen and trying to play them against seniors. Not going to happen in high school football. I don't care. Your freshman almost has to be a phenomenal person to do that. And there's not many across the state of Tennessee that will play a freshman on a football field, put him up against a senior that's probably 3 or 4 years older than him, and he'll be able to compete. It's hard to do. And I believe all three of you would agree to that. But what I think tonight made a really big statement for Anderson County, man. They laid it on East Ridge tonight, and I think you're going to have the same showdown. I said on our pregame tonight that you had 2 games tonight that was really going to be statement makers. Anderson County East Ridge game, and all the Coalfield Midway game was tonight was a warm-up for Thursday night. And it'll be home Thursday night down in Coalfield.
David, I think we feel the same way, and I'll say this. That Coalfield Greenback game, that should be a Friday night sellout, packed, having to lock the gate down by the fire marshal. That should not be a Thursday night football game.
Well, I'm not a fan. First of all, let me just put a statement out. I'm not a fan of Thursday night games. Even though at Channel 12 we have done some in the past, and they've been huge crowds for them when back in the day. And over the last 10 or 12 years, we've done some Thursday night games. I'm not really a fan of the Thursday night games. I don't think I don't think high school football's been meant to play on Thursday night. I think it's meant to be played on Friday night. And I agree with you. Now, listen, there'll be a huge crowd at Coalfield Thursday night, whether it's on TV or not, because they come out and support their team really well down there, and I'll be one of them down there.
Well, and I think that's awesome. I think when you get into a game that big, you're still going to have a big crowd, and I guess it is a good way for Coalfield and Greenback to put their program out where a lot of people don't get to see it. But Dave and I, we don't agree on much, but we do agree that Chase needs to get rid of the pink shirt and get a Rockwood shirt, number one. And number two, we do
Hey,
agree.
listen, how far do you have to run the guy down to get that thing? Or is that the only shirt his girlfriend let him wear tonight?
Well, I'll tell you this. And when I walked in to sit down, I noticed it was pink, but then I thought he might be driving a NASCAR. He's got about 7 sponsorships on this shirt.
Hey, I go to the highest bidder.
Whatever you do, you leave that shirt at home next Friday night if you're going to do a ball game with me at Classic.
Hey, listen, I've tried to be politically correct and neutral. Next Friday night, I might wear my high school football helmet
you won't.
Here.
No, you won't. Next Friday night, he's wearing a Fulton basketball shirt.
Hey, Cox, won't you do me a favor next Friday night? Won't you just go up with Chase and you and him do the game? I mean, you've got to be devastated again this Friday night if your Dragons lost 7-0. I mean, come on.
Well, I'll tell you this, just for your information, I will have a maroon shirt on next week. I'll be standing on the Fulton sideline, and the only Dragon I know that will be on any kind of Channel 12 broadcast, that's you, Mr. Queener.
And the guy that's sitting there beside you in the pink shirt, me and him will be up there, and I guarantee we'll be talking about you 2 or 3 times. Hey, you guys have a good one. Don't let nobody get on Coach Stafford's not a – I heard you guys say there's not a finer guy than Coach Staff. Injury bug, ain't much you can do about that when somebody gets injured. And Chase, you said something about Ray County.
Oh, yeah, on Facebook earlier this week, Pemberton put some fans on blast in a post-game interview. They told them that some of these fans didn't know what they were talking about, and they needed to shut up or go on.
Well, I might agree with some of that, but, man, I watched his offense last night. I'm not a fan. I mean, you get behind in that offense. He has no resemblance of a passing game. Now, I don't know what the situation is with his team or nothing. I mean, I'm not a big follower of Ray County, okay? So I don't know what his quarterback situation is. I know it's his son, but I don't know if his son, I don't know what grade he's in, but not to have no passing game hardly. I mean, ain't no hardly. He didn't have any last night. You spot somebody 21 to a Catholic team that's just so-so. I mean, come on.
Hey, David, call us back and give us a good Botch Jones UGA score when you get a chance.
I'm going to sell that Tennessee stuff tonight because they could win tomorrow.
Nobody likes conflict more than you do. Call us back at 12.
See.
Mr. Isabel, how you doing?
Hey, how y'all doing tonight?
Good. Give us some Anderson County stats that wow us all like it's been going on every week. What do you throw for this week, 1,000 yards?
Well, they had a good game tonight. What's so impressive is we dominated that game in the line, offensive line, defensive line. Our defense is not getting a lot of credit. These kids are a lot stronger than they were last year. And I asked a couple of coaches, I said, what have y'all done to make these kids stronger? I said, we were weak as a kitten last 2 years. They said, well, we had Craig, the coach last name Craig, worked real hard with them in the weight room this summer, and they're kind of dominating the line scrimmage. You dominate the line scrimmage, you win football games. That's what they call smash mouth football. We won the toss, took the kickoff, went 70 yards and scored, kicked off to them. They started about their 24-yard line. After the second play, we recovered a fumble on the 8-yard line. Took it in, went up 14-0, kicked off again. They started on their 19-yard line. It ended up on the 8. Again, they fumbled it. We took it in, was up 21-0. We were up 35-0 in the first quarter, which was shocked, I guess, everybody in East Tennessee because East Ridge was ranked number 8 AP ranking in the state. Anderson County ranked number 3, and we were expecting to see a pretty close ball game. At the end of the half, East Ridge only had 24 yards rushing, and it was 49-0 at halftime, and it was over. And we were all expecting a closer game, weren't we?
Absolutely.
The Stanton Martin, of course, he threw 4 touchdown passes tonight. That puts 31 touchdown passes. Now, I haven't looked at the school record. Tanner had the school record for most passing yards, y'all remember back in 2010, he broke the state record in passing, 4,100 yards. And 2 years later, that kid from CAK broke that record, and I think that passing record still stands. It's going to be interesting what the school record is in touchdown passes. You've played 7 games and threw 31 touchdown passes, and they're spread out to a lot of kids.
That's over.
So we ran the ball pretty well. Like I said, the offensive line dominated the line of scrimmage. We ran the ball pretty much at will. We had 200 yards rushing, and Stanton had 190-some yards passing tonight, which puts him 1,830 yards, which leads East Tennessee in passing. So,
hey, Dale, let me ask you a question. I've not got to see Stanton play this year, and you have got to watch a lot of good quarterbacks come through Anderson County. Does he compare to a Justin Price, or who does Stanton Martin compare to?
Well, Stanton is a lot more athletic. Well, I'm saying Justin was a good athlete. So was Tanner, but Tanner didn't have the running ability that this young man has. If y'all noticed in the paper this morning, he's one of the leading rushers in East Tennessee. Quarterback. So he was a leading rusher for Anderson County going into this game tonight, but one of the other running backs, Mason Phillips, I think, went ahead of him because Mason had 77 yards rushing. He broke one for 67 yards for a touchdown tonight, and it had a great block downfield. You know, the blocking, you've got to give those kids credit for blocking and playing as a team. And I want to mention something else, too. The national anthem was awesome tonight.
Absolutely. It's
Players,
all over
I don't know if
Twitter.
y'all heard anything about it.
Yes, sir.
Came on the field with about 20 flags, and it just was awesome with the fireworks and honoring our country. So,
Yeah, Dale Davey called us. I asked him to call us, and he called us to tell us. I got to watch the video on Twitter, and I think that news needs to be spread across media outlets everywhere. And that was very good. And here's another thing. I bet there's not been an Anderson County football player lead a team in rushing and passing. For
being an
year.
athlete, he's real smart.
Yeah.
He's a smart kid. He makes good decisions, and as his timing, when he started the year, his timing was off a little bit. But comparing him with other quarterbacks, he's probably the best athlete quarterback all around that we've had. What makes a kid good is when he's got good receivers tonight.
Absolutely.
We had a senior tonight, the Miller boy. You know, goes to church with us, Second Baptist, Ronnie's son. He got to dress out tonight. He hurt his knee that in spring, and he was a captain, and they give him the game ball. So these kids are, they're close. When you're close like that, and you do everything together, and you care about each other, that helps.
Absolutely. Well, Dale, thank you for your call, and thank you for information. Our lines are lighting up, and we.
Let me say one more thing.
Yes, sir.
This game tonight was pretty big because it probably will mean Anderson County will stay at home until the semifinals.
And does that mean they go to Greenville then?
Well, I'm not sure, but I think we'll have to go to Greenville, but I haven't checked that. Elizabethton is a good team we may see in the second round.
Yeah, the second round.
Right now, this team probably will go 10-0. You remember the last 10-0 team in Anderson County they had to forfeit 6 games.
Wow.
And then they had to go to Cleveland and play the number 1 team.
And they won that. They would have won that football game that night, Dale, if they don't fumble that ball going into score right there in the third quarter of that football game. I can remember like it was yesterday.
Yeah, but teams got to have the breaks. But I'll get off here and let some other people talk.
Thank you, buddy. Call us next week.
Enlighten me. How did they have to forfeit 6 games?
So what happened was there was a transfer that moved into Anderson County. He was eligible. He literally had a change of address into the Anderson County zone, and somewhere between transcript to guidance counselor to TWS Belay, he played in 5 games in which Anderson County blew their opponent out. Third string kid.
Wow.
That just got a cut,
Wow.
not even meaningful, but it doesn't matter. That doesn't matter. At the end of the day, he didn't pass the amount of classes.
Right.
It was one of those issues, and they forfeited those games.
Wow.
What's crazy was the year before that, they lost to Halls in the semifinals. The next year, everybody thought, well, Anderson County was going to be down. They had a very athletic football team that year. They went 10-0. Cleveland was ranked 1 in the state. Anderson County was ranked 2 in the state. And Anderson County, after they won their 10th game, find out 3 days later that they'd played him ineligible in 5 games. Lose those games. They go to Cleveland. They had Cleveland beat, and the quarterback is running around the. Like I said, I can remember like yesterday. I mean, 2 of my best friends coaching Anderson County right now. They play on this football team. He's going around to score, and a kid from Cleveland comes in and dives at him. When he dives at him, he hits the ball. It goes off his knee, goes through the end zone.
Touchback.
Cleveland runs the next play 80 yards for a touchdown.
Wow.
To go up 21-14, and they end up beating Anderson County 28-21.
Wow.
It was for that was state championship game.
Right.
Cleveland goes on to win a state championship that year. So that was a bummer. That was a bummer. I'm serious. I felt so bad for my buddies.
Yeah.
You go 10-0. You play the best team on the road. You had them beaten. Just a freak play right there at the end. Guys, y'all want to go to commercial break?
Let's take a quick break. Guys, lines are wide open. Give us a call at 865-483-8112. We have another line. Thank you for holding. Call us right back. We'll get you on. Take a quick break. Be right back. This is the Friday Night Scoreboard brought to you by Mulch & More.
Mulch & More in Midtown is your landscaping headquarters. Mulch & More offers mulch, the best topsoil in the area. All types of gravel, sand, pea gravel, either loose or in bags, creek rock, river rock, field stone, mountain mist stone, railroad cross ties, straw bales, fence posts, farm gates, and much more. Mulch & More offers backhoe and dump truck service. And Mulch & More can also demolish a house or building on your property, and they'll haul it off for you. Give Gary a call today at 865-740-5229 for Mulch & More in Midtown.
Reno Sporting Goods, your first choice for sports equipment. On the court, on the field, or in the stands, Reno's has the brand names you want. All the latest from Adidas, Under Armour, and more. From custom embroidery to screen printing, it's all about the game. For over 30 years, Reno Sporting Goods.
Really? Again? Hey, if I had automotive style suspension like the new Simplicity, plus a free-floating mower deck for the best cut, I'd be all that too.
Well,
and if I had the expertise and advice of his Simplicity dealer, maybe he'd look forward to hanging out with me.
you don't have a Simplicity dealership.
Good point. Huh.
Yeah.
SL Bowman & Sons, 524 North Front Street in Rockwood.
Ladies, it's football time at Hammer Stores and time to show the colors of your favorite college team. Hurry to Hammers and get ready for the big weekend games, the tailgate parties, or game day Fridays at work. Choose from top labels sold in better specialty stores and upscale department stores. Put together a dressy two-piece outfit or go casual with a beautiful top and jeans. Shop Hammers and get set for kickoff now.
Evans Mortuary has been serving the needs of families in and around Roane County since 1976. As established members of our hometown community, we understand the security of dealing with people you know you can trust. We build our reputation on this trust. The Evans family appreciates the confidence the community has expressed in us over the years and will constantly strive to earn that favor. Evans Mortuary, 805 North Gateway.
It's time to look closer to home and energize America with fuel made in America. Natural gas is a cleaner, safer, more efficient, and more affordable energy choice. ORUD is your family's comfort provider. Natural gas is the responsible choice for your family, your wallet, and the environment. Gas is a great value, but it is also the best way to cook, heat your water, and warm your home. If you want the best for less, switch your house to natural gas.
The Harriman Utility Board provides electric, gas, water, and sewer services for the city of Harriman, as well as most of Roane and Morgan counties. Recent major projects include an upgrade of our 161 kilovolt electric substation. Another ongoing project is the rehabilitation of an antiquated sewer system, including an upgrade of our wastewater treatment plant. These projects will improve the quality and reliability of these services and meet state and federal requirements. For more information, visit our website at hub-tn.com or call us at 865-882-3242.
For 30 years, Reno Sporting Goods has been a leader in supplying the highest quality equipment and apparel for sports teams throughout East Tennessee. Athletes, fans, and coaches alike rely on the knowledge and experience that only Reno's can provide. For the best in team sports, shop Reno Sporting Goods.
Get yourself unchained from large pharmacies. Shop and support your local independent pharmacies in our hometowns. In Kingston, shop Kinzer Drugs. In Harriman, shop Chase Drugs. And in Rockwood, Live and Let Live Drugstore. Keep our money local to help our community. Your independent pharmacies help support local high school sports, local civic groups, little leagues, marching bands, annual staffs, yearbooks, and other school clubs and activities. Remember, in Harriman, shop Chase Drugs. In Kingston, visit Kinzer Drugs. And in Rockwood, Live and Let Live Drugstore. The next time you have prescription need, try your local hometown independent pharmacy. We were here for you before the chains, and we're here for you now. In Kingston, Kinzer Drugs. In Harriman, Chase Drugs. And in Rockwood, support Live and Let Live Drugstore. Be sure to spend your dollars locally. And please support our young people of today, because they will be our leaders tomorrow.
Nice. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Friday Night Scoreboard, brought to you by Mulch.
And more.
I
got you. I got you back, Chase.
He's here, Chase.
Give Gary a call today. They've got it all. I talked to him this week. He's pumped about his new commercial. I don't know if you saw it. It's got some drone footage of all the stuff they've got at Mulch and More. They're right across the street from the Roane County Highway Department in Midtown. $10 special per scoop mulch. Jonathan's calling in, like I said. He ordered 3 last week. He's getting 3 more tomorrow. He's a mulching machine. Give Gary a call today. They do demolition. They'll tear your house down, haul it off. They'll do anything. Give Gary a call today, guys. We had a caller, so call us back. We're back. Give us a call at 865-483-8112. Talk high school football. We're fixing to get into a little bit of controversial topics, also known as the Tennessee Volunteers. Caller, you're on the air.
This is Richie No. How are you guys?
Good, Richie. How are you doing?
I'm good. What y'all think?
I know it was a big week this week. I didn't get to watch your football game, and I did get to see the entrance on Twitter. Talk a little bit about the way the Mavs walked on the field tonight, and then talk a little bit about that football team. And by the way, before you start, we've got a lot of praise tonight from the offensive line of Anderson County. And I know you'd be proud of that.
Good. That's good. Those guys work hard. They really worked hard in the offseason to get stronger and more agile, and I think they have. The mentality, the kids sat down with Coach Gilliam and voted on how they were going to handle this. You know, whether they stayed in the locker room, whether they came out, and it was unanimous that no one would take a knee. Now, I think I think there were a couple of older fellas that might have been a little bit vocal about what would happen if you took a knee. But it was pretty unanimous that they'd come out and they'd stand in unison because, you know, typically we're still in the
locker room
barn ready to come out. And then we all thought it'd be a good touch if they my brother actually tagged me in a post where it showed a high school team running out with American flags. So we thought that would be pretty cool, especially in our blue-collar community. We thought that'd be a pretty cool way to honor our vets and the respect that we have for the flag.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, that's a good thing to see. A lot of high school teams, not by protest or not by anything, are in the locker room. A lot of college teams are in the locker room during an anthem, and it's not, like I said, it's not out of disrespect or a pro or anything like that. It's just how it happens. So, so it's good to see.
University of Tennessee's never been on the field for an anthem.
And
and you know, I was to Lou what you're saying. You know, we have at Fulton when I do the PA, we have a game schedule we go by, and every every night at 7:15 at home, we do the national anthem, and at 7:15, usually that's when the coach is talking to the kids. So they're never on the field. But that was a huge statement tonight. And I'll tell you this, I don't know if you've got to see this or not, but to just tell you how this world is going with media, we've got every big media outlet, showing this kid from Sevier County body slamming this kid from Gibbs.
Do you know where that tweet originated?
Where was it? Jonathan Crompton?
Yeah, Austin Price was showing me. He goes, I have no idea what Jonathan Crompton's doing at the doggone Sevier County Gibbs game. Evidently he's there because look at this tweet. And I was like, holy cow.
Yeah.
That's insane.
Yeah. But
that's the most insane play I've seen. I've been watching football since I was 7 years old. And that's nuts.
Did the kid get ejected?
Oh, he got ejected. I've got a couple of friends that play over there at Gibbs. And he not only did he get ejected, but there are probably going to be more ejections when the film comes out because they had a bench-clearing brawl.
As they should have.
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah.
Wow.
There's probably going to be more suspensions because probably 25 dudes came off each sideline.
And that is crazy out of Sevier County. They've had some coaches up there that have been really good character guys.
Oh, absolutely.
For a long time.
And you never know.
No.
This kid could have been tortured all night.
Yeah.
Finally, he's had it. He's an all-state or an all-region wrestler, and he showed it.
Yeah. Hey, if they make one more comment about my pink shirt, that's what's going to happen here on the set.
Do what now?
I said, if they make fun of me for my pink shirt one more time, I'm going to do that live on the BBB Friday Night Scoreboard.
You're confident in your manhood if you can wear pink. Tell them that.
Well, the problem is, Rockwood has a big win tonight on the road in Oneida. They scored 27 points. And my Rockwood man over here comes in with a pink shirt on. That'd be like you showing up with an orange and green shirt on after a big win tonight, Richie.
That is hilarious.
So,
but hey, what game? What's been the big surprises this week?
Well,
many scores.
Rockwood winning at Oneida 27-7 was big. I'll tell you the score that I can't get over, and I wish somebody would call in and talk about Clinton football, which we never get any phone calls anymore. But Knox West beat Clinton 7-0 tonight.
I saw that. Now, Knox West is not great on offense. I think they've got the best defensive nose guard in East Tennessee, but they're not real dynamic on offense. Now, Mr. Parrott told me at one point that Clinton had ran 23 plays and had like 30 yards, but then he said they exploded with like a 40-yard pass play. And so I didn't hear much after that. I figured they were in field goal range, and they got a great little kicker.
Yeah.
So, but I guess nothing. I guess it kind of fizzled on them if they didn't.
Yeah, they didn't score. It was 7-0 there. You got that one. Outside of that, pretty much. I was surprised to see Derek Ring lose tonight to Pigeon Forge. He got beat pretty good up there, 38-18. I know that really don't have anything to do with much of our people, but that was sort of a surprise score from a guy
oh, yeah, great guy.
Yeah, Sunbright wins their third game in a row to beat Oakdale 37-0. Harbor Springs gets their first win tonight, 42-14 over Harriman.
Hey, how about the Larry Kerrs over there?
Hey, did Larry Kerr win his third game tonight?
Hey, not only did they score 77 points?
Yes.
Yes, Union County beat Sullivan South 77-32. Larry Kerr
thought it was a typo.
Yeah, they get their third win on the season. I don't think they'd won a game going into the season in maybe 3-4 years?
Oh, well, maybe 1-2 years ago.
Okay.
But, yeah, insane. They'll have a statue at Hardee's again. It'll be amazing.
Hey, and he'll let them put it up. The only thing they need to do is just give him some coffee and some biscuits. All's good. All's good, big guy.
Coffee and free biscuits, of course.
All's good, big guy.
It's hilarious.
Oh, yes.
But, yeah, the Mavs played well. We were awful proud. East Ridge was without their all-state running back, their Mr. Football running back. And so, that made a difference. Right out of the gate, those guys fumbled it twice on exchanges. One of them, my boy Mook, scoops it up and runs in the end zone, and on the other one, we grab it. It's 21-0 with 8 minutes to go in the first quarter. It was just bam, bam, and, I walked over to their sideline, and you can hear those guys yelling, "Don't quit! Don't quit!" I'm thinking, it's going to be a long ride back to chat, boys.
Yeah. I think it was somebody sent me a text like at 7:45, said 21-0 Anderson County. I was thinking, what? It's 7:45. What's going on? Did they start early?
Yeah, exactly. They started at 6:30, right?
Yeah. So I'll tell you, it's an awesome thing up there. I talked to Jonathan the other night. You know, we talked during football and basketball season, and he sent me, and we were talking back and forth. Then he said it's amazing what confidence does for your football team. And I think that's a prime example of you got talent, but now you got confidence to go along with it.
And I know I've drug my call out, but I will say this. You know, I'm awfully proud of these boys and have had, you know, contact with these boys, all of them, since they were little fellas. But I'll tell you what's the most fun part for me on Friday night. Obviously, I enjoy watching my son. I enjoy watching Stanton, Mook, Carroll, all these kids I know and love. But when I watch our kickoff team go down the field, when you talk about confidence, last year's kickoff team would run down the field hesitant, dodging blockers, not staying in their lanes. These guys are looking for blood. They're looking to make their huddle pretty cool because they are throwing their bodies around like crazy. It's just, like you said, man, that confidence goes a long way.
It does, absolutely. So they said you have off next week, and then you travel to Chattanooga Central, which will probably be for the region title.
Yes, and that's the same night Elizabethton plays Greenville.
So we'll know a lot more about your
We're real interested in that game.
Yeah, we'll know a lot more about that 4A football on the east side of the state after in 2 weeks.
Yep, we're really looking for and Chat Central plays Eastridge this Friday, so I'm eager to see what happens there.
Absolutely. We'll keep them rolling.
All right, guys. Thank you for the call.
Go Vols. Okay, I don't know if y'all know this or not. Richie used to run. He used to be on this show.
Really?
Yeah, and he's coached that group of seniors at Anderson County High School since he's not lying, since they were 5 or 6 years old.
He saw them grow, literally.
Yeah, Richie is Anderson County High School product.
That was a top of it. 32-7.
Okay.
Union County lost.
Union County lost? Okay.
Breaking.
Man, you.
In the Molten Moore studio.
You just took my heart away, Brad. I thought Curd won 3 games up there and was getting ready to get some free coffee and biscuits.
Listen to this stat, though. Harriman had 370 total yards. Oliver Springs had 279.
Interesting.
So Harriman outgained Oliver Springs, but Oliver Springs won.
Big time. Harriman had 85 yards in penalties, and OS had 28.
Dang.
I'm sure there's some upset Harriman fans.
Harriman got down to their third-string quarterback, too, I believe. Because they already had their first string out. Then was the second half. I guess their second-string starter goes down. They're at their third string by the end of the game.
Wow. It's interesting.
Yeah.
That's interesting. It's you've got to have some luck on your side when you're making these runs.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for sure.
You know, and I hope everybody, especially like you want to see Anderson County, who's missed the playoffs the last 2 years, stay healthy. I don't think the Martin kid's been able to stay healthy the last 2 years, and this year, you know, he's healthy and he's rolling.
Go ahead. Sorry.
No, the only concern I have, I showed up last year for the first game of the year to watch Greenville and Anderson County play, and it was not pretty. So I hope Anderson County has that confidence. They've worked hard. They've got a great coaching staff, and I'd love to see them get that win. If they get that win, Anderson County might bring the first state championship back to Anderson County High School ever. For football.
Yeah.
For football.
That'd be incredible.
They've never even picked for the state championship in football. They've had some good football teams.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tell you another big CAK picked up a win tonight. We talked about them. Me and Aaron did before you got here. Just it's
CAK won.
CAK won. It's weird to see them struggle like they have this year. So for them, 40-16 against Silverdale. So for them to pick up a win tonight, pretty big for the CAK program. Go ahead, caller. You're on the air.
Hey there, Chase, and you and your crew there. This is the Triple D man.
Bow your heads when you hear his name, Triple D. What is
Triple
up?
D, you gonna hear me every Friday night. I'm looking forward to hearing what Queen had to say about when he gonna ride down there with them guys. I hope he be able to ride on the team bus with him. Of course, told Gaddis when he first come here, I said, Gaddis, after 2 years, I'm looking for a state championship. I don't want to, see us one and done. The last 3 years, we lost 2 first round games, and we lost to Udawal in 0-3. We need to get out the gate. I'm for Oak Ridge. I'm Oak Ridge resident. I'm an Oak Ridge player myself, and I want that. He'll tell you himself, because my nephew played there. 3 years was All-American. Mike Gibson. I don't know if y'all know about him, but he, Sean Bohannon. They had 3 teams that lost to the old ranking part of his to 400 victory come 3 straight years on Oak Ridge. So I want Gaddis to do well. And, Coach, I know that a lot of fans in Oak Ridge is getting a little impatient, and, our expectation is high every year because we don't high school in Oak Ridge. We got a 2 good feeder program with Jefferson Junior Middle School, and Robertsville. Don't nobody take away from Oak Ridge like the schools in Blount County, William Blount, Maryville, and Alcoa. They get each other players, but it ain't like here in Oak Ridge. We ought to be a contention for the state every year. I know they have to rebuild, but when you got one big old high school and you got a feeder system like Robertsville and Jefferson, don't know other kids go nowhere. You ought to be a contention every year. That's what we expect. But some of the Anderson County callers that called in, I want to know that how my grandson doing over there. He's number 10 on the kickoff team. I think he play on the receiving team. He play a little defensive back, and he played a little running back last week. And I watched him in that Channel 12 game, and he's just a freshman. And I know a lot of callers call. I want to hear some callers call in and tell me how he done. His number is number 10. His name is Cam Thomas. And he's just a freshman. I look for big things for him. Not that he get a junior or senior. I'm talking about next year. And I just hope there's some fans call in there and let me know how he's doing. And I like to see Anderson County. Anybody from Anderson County around in this area, Oak Ridge, Clinton, they ought to root for these local schools. I'm not against Clinton, and now I got something to root for Anderson County. So I'm going to get off here, and I'm going to call you back later on and tell you about the Georgia-Tennessee game.
All right, thank you, Triple D.
I'm going to get off and let somebody else, and hopefully Anderson County fan will call in and tell me how my grandson done.
We'll do it, buddy.
Y'all have a good one, and I'll call you back before 12.
Thank you.
All right.
One thing I'm going to say about Triple D's call, while he was talking, I know Triple D's watching. I had a guy that was hosting this show for a long time just text me and told me to tell Triple D that we're not interested in what happened in the mid-'90s about Oak Ridge football. We're living in the present. So Triple D, when you call back for your midnight prediction of Botch Jones and the Vols, we'll let you talk about. We'll let you reply to that. But and we'll try to get you an update on Cam. So I do have to go back. I've never known Dale Isabel to be wrong about anything Anderson County wise or tax wise, because he's my CPA. But I have to correct him on something that I was sent in a text message. The year Anderson County, they said, went 10-0 and had to forfeit the games, they went 9-1 and lost to Clinton 14-7. And my buddy texted me and said, "Thanks for reminding me of that." So it did go 9, and they did go 9-1 that year. So they've never been 10-0 in the school history.
Could happen this year.
They're well on their way.
Very easily, yeah.
I would say there's more than a 90% chance they're going to be 10-0.
I would say you're probably right. If I had to guess.
Maybe a 98% chance.
I'd say if you were on a place a country ham on it, you'd have to place a lot on it if you're going to win much.
Feels like 98.
Feels like 88, man.
It ain't 98. And that comment about the last 2 years been two of the best in the last 20 years.
We talked about it.
Oh my goodness. Let's get the lines here. Mr. Smithy, how you doing?
I'm doing well, boys. How are you tonight?
I'm good. Do you know anything about high school sports?
No, but I'm trying real hard.
I got you. Well, it's a good time to learn. Good time to learn. Hey, talk to us about obviously what went on this week and maybe some surprises and upsets and maybe some teams you see making a run into the postseason here.
Well, I think it was kind of a lackadaisical, kind of a substandard week of high school football. There weren't really many marquee games. I think the game that I had the closest eye on was Anderson County. Of course, Anderson County has just stormed to a 6-0 start this year. Didn't really know what to expect out of this new region that they've been playing in, how difficult or not difficult it was going to be. And so here came Eastridge tonight up to Anderson County, a program that had played in the state quarterfinals the last 2 years. 2 years ago, it had just had an unbelievable kind of dream season. I think a 12-0 start all the way up to the state quarterfinals before they lost. So this was supposed to be Anderson County's first legit contest. And after one quarter, they were winning 35-0. Stanton Martin had 4 touchdown passes already, giving him 27 on the year. And they're going into next week's bye week. You got to think that Anderson County is going to go ahead and finish this thing off and go ahead and notch their first 10-0 record in school history. As far as I could see, I looked it up on Tennessee Prep football database and could not find a better start to the season. There's some years where they lost their first game to Oak Ridge and then ripped off 8 or 9 wins in a row. But 10-0 is certainly a feasible thing for Anderson County football, and I think you'll see Stanton Martin easily be a candidate for Mr. Football.
That's awesome. I mean, everybody that talks about him in our area, Jesse, says he's a great kid and a real leader on that football team. And tonight we were told by a guy that keeps the stats that he has thrown 31 touchdown passes in the first 7 games.
Yeah, it's pretty incredible. And I mean, the only time I think I've seen something similar to that is when Charlie High and Josh Smith and Davis Howell and Brett Kendrick were putting up big-time numbers out at CAK back in 2011 and the 2012 season. And so it's definitely something that's been done before, but it's been a while since we've seen numbers like that. Of course, Tanner Williams set some big numbers in Anderson County back in the late 2009-ish, kind of 10 era. I can't remember exactly what season it was, but Anderson County's had prolific passers under Davey Gillen before, but Stanton Martin's taking it to a new level.
And they said going into tonight's game, he was also the leading rusher on the football team, and Mason Phillips rushed for quite a few yards tonight and overtook the lead there. But pretty crazy. What else going on? What do you take out of that Science Hill Farragut game? Is Farragut are they loaded? Are they ready to make a run here, or are we going to get the Farragut that barely beat West?
Well, let's remember that Farragut's in 6A now, so them making a run to another state championship game is going to be much more difficult. So I thought it was a big, big sign for them to bounce back after last week. Man, I don't even know how to classify that. They had 89 yards total offense last week against West, and just could not, with all these big-time receivers that they have and line and running back, they just couldn't muster up any offense last week, but they still found a way to win. And so they came back this week and rushed for over 300 yards against a really good, athletic, well-coached Stacy Carter Science Hill team. And they had 2 backs. I think Farragut had one back rush for 169 and another for 147, and kind of got back into form. So Farragut, 19 wins in a row now, 7-0 on the season, in sole possession of first place in their region. But, man, look down the road and you see Oakland and you see Riverdale and you see Maryville and all these teams that can get in the way of Farragut get back to a state championship game. But they'll be there. You'll see them
Hey, for all of our viewers, well, first I got another question. When does Maryville and Farragut play? Are they not in the same region?
They're not in the same region, though, so it will possibly be in the playoffs sometime.
We might disagree on this, but that shows we have too many classifications for that two teams that close together not being the same region.
No, I don't disagree with you there. There's no reason for the state of Tennessee to have nine state champions. The state, yes, it is elongated. It takes you forever to drive from one point to the other, but the amount of schools that are in the state, there's no reason to have 9 state champions this year in the state of Tennessee, but that's the TLSAA for you.
Talk to us about Coalfield Greenback. Big game coming up. We all feel like it should be played on Friday night because that's when football games are meant to be played, but we're going to skip that portion of the call and go straight to just a rundown here.
Yeah, I mean, that's the big game that everybody's going to be talking about next week. Of course, Greenback had their perfect season ruined last week by Grace Christian Academy, so they've had 2 weeks to just steam and stew over that loss, which, they'll still tell you that the ref kind of jobbed them a little bit in that game. So they're going to come into this matchup with Coalfield extremely upset, bad taste in their mouth, and they've had 2 weeks to prepare. Coalfield had another easy win tonight over Midway. Of course, Parker McKinney is having a Mr. Football caliber season, and so Greenback, it wants to ruin that. So that's going to be the matchup of the week, I believe, next week in Week 8, and it's the one that I have the most interest in. It's not often that 1A football takes the headlines away from your Maribels and your Alcoas and Fultons, but it certainly will next week.
Yeah, that's going to be an interesting game. We have a lot of viewers watch this show and a lot of callers. And one being in the building back here behind us right now, Brad Jones, has a lot of interest in that Coalfield Greenback game.
Well, hopefully Brad will give us some live aerial shots from that game. I know he's a big drone guy.
Yeah, maybe he will. I noticed he got a new drone, and he's ready to go, so maybe he can give us some good updates.
Hopefully he won't get shot down.
Yeah, there you go. There you go. Jesse, thanks for all your knowledge. Appreciate your call. Get home and rest up, and give us a score prediction for tomorrow's game. I know you're a big Butch supporter.
Oh, yeah, just big time. I'll say Georgia 35, Tennessee 17.
Hey, Jesse, let me ask you something real quick before you hop off here. I hate to move away from football, but how big a story in history of college basketball was this week's findings by the FBI and just all of that?
Game changer.
Well, I think it's monumental, and I think you'll see its branches and its tentacles continue to spread throughout the nation and reach into Nike schools and Under Armour schools and really put a little bit of fear into some of these coaches. I heard Judd Gottlieb, a national media member, his brother coaches at Oregon State, and I heard him in an interview this past week say that, look, these coaches now, when approached by these money-grubbing middlemen, say, look, I don't want to get arrested. I can't give you anything. So I think there's finally a way out for coaches to get away from these, money bag guys and get recruits in there the right way. And so will it completely clean up the game of college basketball? Absolutely not. But it does give a little bit of power back to the coaches to know that they can just go back to recruiting the right way and get players in there because, look, they're afraid they're going to get arrested if they do something wrong. So we'll see how long it lasts and see if the NCAA can continue to enforce that, police that over the next few years. But to take Rick Pitino down and make him an example has definitely got to put a lot of fear into college basketball coaches across the country who are not doing things the right way.
Jesse, any chance we see your favorite high school coach, Paul Yosh Kamakawa's name pop up in the Louisville spot?
Well, I hope so. I mean, I asked him on Twitter the other day if he's got a white suit, and you got to have a white suit to coach on the sidelines up at Louisville, and hopefully Coach K has one of those in the closet somewhere.
All right, Jesse. We appreciate you.
All right, have a good one, guys.
See you.
Go ahead, caller. You're on the air.
I'm here.
Go ahead. What's going on?
It's nothing much. I'm just really interested in your show going on.
Well, we appreciate that. Did you go to any high school football tonight?
I actually, yes.
Where'd you go?
the local. Like there was this one guy. He was like, running to the phone, and if it wasn't,
Caller, you're on the air.
Yes, this is Steve from Lake City. I was just calling to see about how do you think about Clinton football? How bad they are? And, you think he's going to hang around the coach? Or they think they're going to get rid of him? I'll hang up and listen. Thanks.
Well, I mean, I think
They're starting at the bottom of Clinton.
Yeah, I mean, obviously they lost tonight 7-0 to West, and obviously their defense is, pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
But unfortunately, I think if they win one more game on their schedule, it would probably be a 3-win season, and I don't know if there's another win on that schedule for them. And I think that game is against Carnes.
Mm-hmm.
They got to win against Scott County and Seymour.
Okay.
Scott County being a much smaller school. Seymour
probably a lower
might
tier.
Be. It might. Seymour seriously might be the worst 5A team in the area for sure. Carter beat Seymour. And I think Carter might win 2 games this year.
Yeah.
So I think you got to give Coach McCamey some time here. Obviously, the defense is getting better, but the offense obviously has a way to go. If you look at their schedule and results, the defense has been pretty solid.
Yeah. But you have to feel confident in having a coach like Coach McCamey. His record speaks for itself. So like you said, you do have to give him time to try to get his system in at Clinton and try to get some success at that school. So it'll take time. We've used that word tonight, cyclical.
Mm-hmm.
It's all cyclical. And so sometimes that happens with coaching changes as well. So
And with that, you're going to see facility improvements, field improvement. I mean,
yeah,
they're going to throw the kitchen sink at it to try to get it better.
Yeah, I hate we don't have any Clinton callers. I want to know about that facility.
Mm-hmm.
That's something you should be calling our show and telling us how good it is.
Yep.
I mean, promote your program. Call and talk about good things. And I know Stevie there wasn't happy, but I mean, it's year one, and the facility I think just got finished with an overhead shot. Looks like they've got a 30 or 40-yard indoor practice facility.
And who has that in the state?
Yeah.
I mean, you probably count. And you can't win. What do they say? You can't win the Daytona 500 driving the pin time. It takes time to build something.
Yeah.
We're nearing Coach Jones football talking about time. We better get to the next
right.
phone call.
Go ahead, caller. You're on the air.
Hi, I'm calling to talk about the Notre Dame game.
Okay.
It's Touchdown Jesus, actually. I'm a Notre Dame alumni.
We're getting close to that.
Okay.
So, what'd you think of number 23's performance?
I'm not real up to date on number 23.
Hello? Did you watch the Notre Dame game?
No, I've only watched one Notre Dame game this year. It was
What the hell? Hello?
Yes.
You're dumping.
Dude?
Go ahead, caller. You're on the air.
Hi. Am I on the air? Sorry. Hello?
Yeah, go
yes,
ahead.
Go ahead.
Oh, okay. I thought I was on there 2 seconds ago. I'm calling about the Notre Dame game. Jesus. Did you guys by chance watch it?
No, we don't follow Notre Dame football, but I did watch them get beat by Georgia.
Well, the scoreboard or score sheet was on the side of your stream.
At Notre Dame High School.
That's Notre Dame High School.
Well, I just want to do a shout out to my son, number 33. He's a nigger.
Go ahead, caller.
Go ahead, caller. You're on the air.
Yes, sir. I'll talk about Fulton, please, a little bit. Talk about the 30 for 30 last night and everything's going on there. And do you think you have a chance to 5A state championship? I'll hang up and listen.
Sir, did you hang up?
You still there, bud? I got to watch a little bit of that 30 for 30 last night. and it was pretty incredible.
Golly.
I want that guy to call back because I didn't get to see it.
Yeah.
It's very impactful. I mean, it just to see the impact that he has, the willingness he had to, I mean, lay down his life. You read about that in the Bible, and I mean, something that a 15-year-old should never have to be put in the situation to do.
No.
And like that, he did it. Didn't think twice about it.
Aaron, what do you think about it?
I didn't get to see it either, but you know, the story itself and hearing the special features that have already been made about that before the 30 for 30, about how his mom goes to his grave every day and talks to him, just so powerful. And being able to know that, you know, he did throw himself out there and sacrifice himself to try to save other people's lives. And I mean, thinking about some teenager having that mindset that they have to protect somebody. It's just an amazing story, and so I'm looking forward to checking out that 30 for 30 as well, just because, man, that's here. That's Knoxville. That's just right up the road from here.
Boys, that's life.
That's yeah, it's sad.
It is.
They showed his mother and how she's been able to get in. It was like a group of other people that have lost family members in a tragic way such as that. So she's able to not deal with, but relate to other people and talk to people that can relate to her. They showed the revealing of the number on the football field. They had some local people interviewed. I don't know who I didn't recognize them, but overall it was pretty good. I hope to get to watch the whole thing. I watched about 20 minutes of it.
I was traveling back home from work last night. I didn't get home till 10 o'clock.
Yeah.
And I'm living with my mother-in-law right now because my house has been renovated, and if I'd had Comcast, I'd have been able to watch it on demand.
Right.
I did tell my wife I might have to watch it by myself. I watched the special on the Super Bowl, and I cried like a little baby. You know, when you have kids of your own and you've been around Zay, I mean, I've wore a bracelet now for a year.
Yeah.
I know exactly where I was on December 17th night when I got that phone call from one of our basketball players he'd been shot.
Yeah.
And he was scared to death. His mom and dad were both out of town. He was scared to death.
Yeah.
And I was sitting at the Waffle House with Jody Wright, and you know, and I say, Jody, we got to figure out what's going on. I mean, is this true? If it's not true, and I can remember the whole story, and I definitely want to watch it. And a guy asked me today. He said, I watched this, and Brad, if you'll let me know when Robbie Black calls in. He said he's calling from a landline. Let me know. We'll get him on the phone. But that's the coach from Fulton. But I mean, he said, was that kid really that good of a kid? And I said, yes, he's really that good of a kid. And it's a you know, it's real life, guys. I mean, it is what it is.
Yeah.
As far as that goes. But, I mean, you talking about a true hero, the Arthur Ashe Courage Award that he received. And we're going to bring Robbie Black, the Fulton High School football coach, on the line here. Coach Black?
Yes.
Coach Black?
Yes.
Johnathon Cox here. How you doing?
Good, buddy. How are you?
I'm doing good. The Xavion story just got brought up on our show from a phone call. And I'll let you talk a little bit about your football team here in a minute, but sort of take us through the best you can. I know it's an emotional thing for you still, and, you know, there's been a lot of positive come out of this. Take us through a little bit of that story there, and then go into your football team and beating Carter and so on and so forth, if you don't mind.
Yeah, talk a little bit about the Xavion story. You know, I'm sure a lot of the listeners had seen the show last night, 30 for 30, called 24 Strong, and thought those guys did a great job telling the story of Xavion, you know, and what a hero he was, and how selfless he was, and what a great example he has left for us to live by. So many people have seen so many stories, whether it would be the Super Bowl or the ESPYs or all the different stories that were done. And he was an incredible young man, and obviously a bright spot for our community while he was here for his 15 years. So
we were able to take our team last night to the University of Tennessee in their theater-style team room and watch the show, and it was very emotional for our team.
Yeah, Coach, talk a little bit about, obviously I get to be over there and see this. Talk about where all his impact has been left. I mean, as far as not only, what kind of kid he was, but also on the football field, the 24 in the new weight room that Fulton has. Go through a little bit of that and just give everybody, in Anderson County, Roane, and Morgan County a little background on what all's transpired from his, act of courage.
Yeah, we've worked really hard trying to make sure that his legacy is alive and well, and that folks know that he is recognized here at Fulton. And like you said, we've got a replica of his jersey on our turf field. We've got a big mural on the wall in our newly renovated weight room, and a lot of different things here in our school. We've got different stuff in all parts of the school that represent Xavion and who he was and what he stood for. And so we want to continue to do that. I'm sure we'll do many more things as time goes on, just to make sure that everybody that comes through here, whether they've heard the story or knew Xavion or not, even if they didn't, they'll ask questions when they see all the 24s everywhere. So what an incredible story and what an incredible example he left, for us to live by.
Absolutely. And to talk a little bit about your football team tonight, I know you're playing 10 straight games because the bye week was week 1. You had Carter tonight. Talk about that, and then talk about who you have next week and a little bit about your football team.
Well, big win tonight versus Carter. It was homecoming night here, and so I had a lot of alumni, come back and played pretty good at times. We made some big plays in all phases of the game. Defensively, I thought we were really, really strong tonight, and were able to get some takeaways and then take some of those to the house. And we also, had a punt return for a touchdown, and did some good things in special teams, and then had a lot of home run balls offensively. And not real pleased with our turnovers tonight. We did turn it over a few times. We turned it over 5 times last week versus Maryville, and then I think I hadn't looked at the stat sheet yet, but maybe 3 times tonight. So we've got to get that corrected. Down the road, as teams start getting tougher, and especially in region play, turnovers, end up killing you in the end. So we've got to get that corrected. Going to be going against a Clinton team next week that we don't know a whole lot about right now. We haven't played in Clinton for a long time, and I know they've got a new head coach there, and we just haven't had a chance to see any film on them up to this point. So hopefully this weekend we can get to work on them and see what kind of challenges we face this week.
All right, Coach, we appreciate you. Glad you had a good PA guy tonight.
PA guy did a good job. We had Tim Parker, alumni.
That's right.
Graduated in the 70s, came back and did it, so did a good job. Our number 1 guy is about the best around, but Tim was a pretty good fill-in.
Yeah, right. All right, we'll see you tomorrow on the instant replay vest on, buddy.
You got it, buddy. I'll see you.
Right, see you. Go ahead, caller. You're on the air.
Hello? Yeah, go ahead, caller.
Caller, turn your TV down and just talk to us on the phone.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, your last 4 callers, the last 4 callers you had, why they using the N-word on this TV show?
That's why they got dumped.
Well, y'all need to address that.
Well, I think we did address it when they got dumped.
Yes, sir. I try to get it off as soon as I can. That's not anything that
no room
in
for
any
that.
way we're going to support, and that's not how we operate. And we got it off there as quick as I could, and I apologize.
I don't know what's wrong with this country.
I agree. That's absolutely uncalled for.
Because a lot of blacks watch your show.
Absolutely. And with it, there's that you don't have to worry about that coming from anybody that produces this show or is on the set right here, sir. I can 100% guarantee that.
Well, if he calls back, get that phone number. Let me talk to him.
Well, we'll send them straight to you.
We will never answer that phone number on this show again.
Well, give me the number then. You got the number?
No, it was a block number. So no more block numbers on this show.
Is Tennessee gonna win tomorrow?
I don't know. What do you think?
I hope they win.
I do hope they win. I'm a little worried. I think Georgia might have one of the better defensive lines that we've played against in a long time at Georgia.
Yeah. I have zero
If
hope.
they don't win tomorrow, this is for Butch Jones or what?
Butch Jones is going to be our coach next year.
Oh, okay.
I don't.
He can recruit.
Well.
Yeah, he's done a good job recruiting. His 18 class looks really good. It's just he's got to start performing on a higher level than what he's been performing on the last couple years. I think we underachieved with really good talent last year, and I think that's what has everybody up in arms right now, and just we're ready to see results.
But is this his last year or what on the contract?
No, I don't think this is the last year on his contract. I think he's got a pretty big buyout coming up. These guys
Was it
probably
$7.5 million maybe? It might be more than that.
Yeah, I think he's got a couple years left on his contract and about a $7.5 million buyout, caller.
Yep.
Oh, okay. Y'all have a good night then.
Hey, thanks for watching our show, and we do apologize.
I just let those callers go.
All right, thank you. Go ahead, caller. You're on the air.
Hey, Jonathan, what are you doing, bud?
Well, I've got a quick trigger here tonight because we've had some crazy calls.
We're getting ready to dump you.
You got idiots everywhere, and some people just don't have enough sense to hold a decent conversation.
That's 100% correct. If you're willing to call and say that, you don't have enough common sense to carry on a conversation. I will stand behind that. I agree with you, Billy.
Yep.
Well, that's true, but I just can't stand people like that, and they're idiots to start with. But anyway, Brad broke my heart, too, when he told that Union County lost.
Yeah, I know. We've got just a misprint there. We had a 77-32 score, but instead we found out it was 32-7.
Well, that's what I heard Queener on TV say they won. I was kind of happy for him. Kerr's a real good friend of mine. He's a good man, and I'll give him a few golf clubs along the way. But anyway, I appreciate the show. You do an awful good job, and just hang in there, and maybe these idiots will get some common sense and not call.
Yeah, you know, I know I do this because I think the kids and the coaches that put their time into, something they love so much deserve the attention and the attention and the publicity. I mean, it's not, you get 4 years in high school, and in the 4 years you're there, you deserve to be talked about. You know,
'cause that's it for a lot of people.
A Rockwood team wins tonight. That's what we're talking about. Anderson County.
Well, I'll tell you, that's great too. These local, I officiated football for a long time, and I tell you, those kids are special no matter what. And the grown-ups more or less take it away from them.
Absolutely, absolutely. And if you've officiated for a long time and you and Coach Kerr are still good friends, you must be a real good man.
Yeah, matter of fact, he asked me if I'd officiate every game for him, but I didn't call it for him. Don't get me wrong. I called it straight down the middle, and he appreciated that. And matter of fact, Coach Chris over at Cofield said he wished I'd officiate every one of his games. But I tried to be fair because you ain't cheating nobody for those kids when you don't call it right.
That's all right. Hey, thanks for watching and thanks for calling.
Okay, you hang in there, Jonathan. I'll talk to you later.
All right, see you, buddy.
Bye-bye.
Negative.
Go ahead, caller. You're on the air.
Oh, hello. Hi, Jonathan.
I think I got that one too.
Go ahead, caller, you're on the air.
Yeah, I pull for the Mavericks, and how far do you think they'll go this year?
Caller, I pull for the Mavericks as well, and I hope. I think they will definitely play in the semifinals. Caller, you still there? Okay, I think we lost him, but I do think the Mavericks will play in the semifinals. Yeah. What's your all's take on that? You think it's a disappointing season if they don't at least make it to the semifinals?
Well, I think everybody in the region is much weaker than they are, and I think that sometimes, unfortunately, that makes for really great seasons, but it doesn't mean
heartbreaking endings.
Exactly. You know, it's like the SEC East the past 7 years. I hate to mix high school and college here, but it's like a team like South Carolina can make it to the SEC championship game only to get destroyed by. Was it Auburn they played that year, or Georgia makes it to the SEC championship game, gets destroyed by Alabama. You know, you have really good seasons. You beat the people that you're supposed to beat, but then when you get to the postseason, you're going to start playing teams maybe a lot more difficult than what you had been facing. And but I will say this for Anderson County: if you've got an offense that can win in a shootout, you can beat just about anybody.
They can put up points.
Yeah.
And they've been, I think Coach Gillen made a great point earlier. Not only are we scoring a lot of points, there's not many points being scored against us.
Yeah.
And that's something I think that, the fans like us, that are supporting them and from afar, we see the 31 touchdowns and the 50-plus points. And that defense is pretty solid.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And week in and week out, no matter how weak or strong the schedule is, the consistency, I think, says a lot.
The only thing I think as a coach, if you put on your coaching hat here, the one thing you're concerned about is if you play Elizabethton in the quarterfinals at home, are you looking ahead to that Greenville matchup that everyone has been talking about by that time for 10 weeks? Mm-hmm. For 2 or 3 months that's been talked about.
Right.
You got to beat Elizabethton probably first at home before you get to Greenville.
Yeah.
But I still go back and say, since we're talking high school football, I'll still go back and say the Science Hill game tonight against Farragut probably had a little more warm and fuzzy. Not that Greenville's bad, but maybe you got a better chance than you thought.
Yeah.
Yeah. But Farragut's good.
Yeah, Farragut is good.
Alex.
Caller.
Hey, how are you guys doing? It's Alex.
It's been a wild night.
Breathe a sigh of relief. So they said it was you, Colin.
Oak Ridge is a big win tonight. I'm sure you guys aren't really surprised looking at who they played.
Yeah, we thought you all would beat Carnes tonight. What was the final score there?
49-3. Oak Ridge scored a touchdown with just, I think, 2 or 3 minutes left in the game. They had their backups in. It's funny, it's actually a freshman that scored, and they were in the shotgun because they run the spread, and the ball snapped. They had it at like the 42-yard line. The ball was snapped about 7 yards over the quarterback's head, and so in the running back, the freshman went back there and picked it up, ran backwards, and somehow ended up getting into the end zone 50-some-odd yards later. They counted the 42-yard run from scrimmage, but the poor kid probably ran 50, 60, 65 yards on the play to add that last one late, but it was 49-3 the final.
So who does Oak Ridge have next week?
They're actually off next week. Next week is their bye week, and they'll play Clinton at home on October 13th. So that'll be the Wildcats' last home game of the regular season, and then they'll be on the road the following week to wrap it up.
So that Oak Ridge the Oak Ridge Fulton game's at Fulton?
Yes. Okay. And I'm excited to go to that one because I'll be honest with you, I've never been to Fulton Stadium. I've passed it, but I've never actually been there. So I'm excited, as probably anyone in town, to be able to go to that game.
Yeah, that should be a good football game. I would say, if I'm guessing, and I was looking at this just trying as the show's been going on, it looks like that will more than likely be for the region championship.
Yeah, it looks that way. Oak Ridge is, a lot of teams have played 4 region games. Oak Ridge has only played 3, but they're 3-0 They moved to 5-2 after tonight. Their losses being out of region to Farragut, and of course, Dobbins been early in the season. But Oak Ridge is 3-0 where it counts, and that's in region. So that's the Coach Gaddis talks about that week in and week out about the Dobbins Bennett and Farragut game were not fun to lose. You never want to lose one, but the main ones for this team right now is just focus on region play. One thing that was interesting, guys, running the ball tonight, Oak Ridge, as you guys probably know, Oak Ridge is usually able to, they normally have a stable of running backs. They normally are very successful on the ground, historically, it seems like. But this year have not been able to get anything going. If Oak Ridge comes out of a ball game with 70 yards rushing, they've had a pretty good night. Tonight, I think they ended up having over 300, if I'm not mistaken. And they had several different running backs who did, several of which you don't normally play. Jordan Graham is out. He's currently not available as he's dealing with an injury. But they were able to get that going. And as I'm not fooling anybody. The Carnes defense is not great, but regardless of who you're playing, it's nice as a Wildcat fan. I'm sure the coaching staff will appreciate their ability to actually get that going. Because if Oak Ridge wants to make some sort of a run as this season winds down, they're going to have something out of the run game that they haven't had so far this season.
Yeah, now I did look up your schedule because I knew you had a game where you missed there. You all got Powell the week before Fulton and after Clinton.
Okay, is that
That's
right?
at Powell.
I was forgetting that one. Yeah, but Powell. I know Campbell County was up on it at halftime, but did Powell or Campbell County end up winning that? I'm assuming.
Yeah.
I think Campbell County won that game pretty easily.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, it looked like they had it in hand at halftime, but that's the last I had seen of that. So, yeah, and I'm assuming that Powell is another team who, they're trying to get going, but they're not a real strong team. Oak Ridge's schedule, it was front-loaded. The coaching staff knew that. They talked about it at the beginning of the year. This was a team that, especially up front, the Wildcats are, that were young, but they had some older players, but a couple of guys who really hadn't played much football on the line of scrimmage. So it was tough to have those toughest opponents up front, but certainly it does a lot for confidence playing maybe a little bit lighter of a schedule in comparison as the season winds down, and those in-region games is I think helpful for the Wildcats.
So if I'm right, you probably have a little better understanding about this. That Campbell County 48-13 win over Powell tonight, Campbell County takes care of their business over a couple of their games left. That probably gets them in the playoffs with, I guess, Fulton and Oak Ridge being the other two teams. Who's that fourth team right there that's looking to get in the playoffs? Is that Powell?
Honestly, I'll be 100% honest with you. I'm really not sure because I know that Oak Ridge has obviously the tiebreaker over Campbell County, and then from my standpoint, obviously I'm not on the team, I'm not on the coaching staff, and they're probably more focused on next week or whatever. But in the big picture, to me this year, it's always been Oak Ridge, Campbell County, and Fulton. So I'll be honest with you, I really can't think just off the top of my head. It might be Powell, but I think it's going to, as you said earlier, I think it's going to come down to Oak Ridge and Fulton simply because Campbell County is a good ball team, and they're very well coached, but Oak Ridge has a tiebreaker. So they haven't played Fulton, have they?
Campbell County has not played Fulton.
So they're going to be playing the next couple of weeks then.
Yeah, Fulton ends the season with Clinton, Campbell County, and Oak Ridge. And the West is the other team that we're looking at. So whoever wins that Powell West game, will probably be your fourth team in the playoffs. But I would say that Campbell County win tonight was big because that sort of makes them, take that spot over Powell if they're battling for that third and fourth spot.
Yeah, and that Powell program is, it's not maybe what it was a year or two ago when they had, I think it was last year or the year before when they were just loaded and had all those seniors, but that's still a very good ball team, and they don't have anyone that just stands out when Oak Ridge played them. They didn't have anyone besides their quarterback who just stood out as, this guy's really athletic or this guy's really good, but they play well together, and like I said, it's no secret what those brothers up there do. They're a very well-coached ball club.
Yeah, absolutely. Campbell County ends the season. They go at Carnes. Karns, and I think they'll win that one. And then they go Fulton, at Clinton, at West. So that Campbell County West game is probably going to be for that third spot in the playoffs, and at West, whoever loses that, probably the 14th.
Let me ask you a question real quick. I know other people are trying to get in here, but so explain to me, if you guys would, if you know the answer, what would happen if, say, Oak Ridge fell to Fulton later down the season, but Fulton was beat by Campbell County? How would that work out?
Well,
you almost got round robin effect if everybody's beating everybody.
Yeah, I think the first thing you go to, and David is always better at this. Queener, my right-hand man there for a couple of years. If he wasn't better, at least he acted like he knew what he was talking about. From my understanding, Campbell County would obviously have to win out.
Okay.
But from my understanding, overall record and record against higher seeds is a couple of the first two. And then from there, I don't know what's next. But I do know overall record and record against higher seeded teams is two of the tiebreakers.
Okay, well, I appreciate that. Yeah, that'll be interesting. I think ultimately, if you're Fulton or Oak Ridge, it's just in your own hands, and that's got to be a situation where you don't put something like that in the hands of someone else or some sort of policy. If you go out there and take care of business, everything will take care of itself. So, you guys have any questions or anything else about Oak Ridge and what they did tonight? I mean, it's not, like I said, you look at the scoreboard, and that pretty much tells the story. Karns rather, just not, to be as respectful as I can about it. They just didn't have the athletes, and they don't have. It's just not a very good Karns team. They're not very deep.
Yeah. And Brad Taylor will get them better. He's a good football coach, but this is, early in the season they won some games, but they'll get better. And good luck to your Wildcats, and we'll see you. We'll see you over there on 1027 at Fulton High School.
Hey, I appreciate it. You guys have a great night, and let's go Vols tomorrow.
Go Vols. Give us a score, Alex.
Do what?
Give us a score for tomorrow's game.
Let's say you're my Tennessee fan or my brain. Which score do you want?
Whichever one you want.
Full sheep.
All right, full sheep. The wool is out. Let's go ahead and say we're going full sheep. I'll say 31-30 in a Hail Mary towards the south end zone facing the Tennessee River. Go Vols.
Go Vols.
Marquez Callaway.
There you go.
Yeah, let's just leave it. You gonna talk a little Tennessee? No. You better dump that. Talk a little bit before we go about the game tomorrow. Sorry, we can't trust the lines, so if that's going to eventually affect somebody that really wants to call in. Vols tomorrow, like Alex said, you kind of have to set what your heart thinks, what your head, We always play Georgia close. At least give the Vols that the past 4 years. We seem to, the past 2 years, come away with a win. So, everything says that the Vols are going to get beat, but like Will West said on the radio this week, the most Butch Jones thing to do would be to come out and win tomorrow. And then it's, everybody's over here, fire him, and then Monday everybody's, ready to build up a statue.
I'm not ready to build up a statue.
But you know what I mean. It'll swing back.
I don't know if it will.
I think it depends on how the game goes. What if Tennessee just comes out and absolutely obliterates Georgia tomorrow? And then all of a sudden people are thinking like, oh, okay, maybe the first year was a little fluky,
The first thing I would think is, well, maybe Georgia isn't as good as I thought they were.
Yeah.
And maybe LSU and Mississippi State aren't as good as I thought they were, and maybe the SEC's down.
Yeah. Well, see, I think that. I do think the SEC is down this year, big time. I really do. And I'm thinking back, since we brought up the Cromp Daddy earlier, because he had that tweet, you guys remember in 2009, Kiffin's year here, when Cromp Daddy had his big awakening? It was against Georgia, and Tennessee won that game big. So what if it's dormant? What if it's Garantano? Who cares? What if one of these quarterbacks just goes nuts tomorrow against Georgia?
I've got to ask you this. Maybe our mind thinks the same way on this. Does Crompton and Dormady remind you of each other?
Maybe a little bit, yeah. Highly
build or
recruited.
something, highly recruited.
Both have big arms.
Yeah, there's some things there that, you know, but I don't know. Let's take some callers, and I'll keep my finger on the button.
Go ahead, caller. You're on the air.
No.
Oh, hey, guys, I wanted to ask you guys how you guys thinking about Georgia's defense this year so far?
We think the defense for Georgia's line is very good. Guys, what would you all have to say?
I see.
We're the Oliver Springs cheerleaders hanging out at Oak Ridge Utility District getting ready for the big game. O-S-H-S-O-S-H-S-O-S-H, go Casco!
ORUD makes it easy with 0% financing. When it is your turn to host the big game, they have all of your appliance needs from ranges to refrigerators to make you the MVP of this season.
Football season means colder weather is just around the corner. Did you know that ORUD offers a credit for customers who convert their main heating source to a natural gas?
Tackle those dirty uniforms by purchasing a washer and dryer from ORUD. Natural gas dryers cost about half as much to operate as electric dryers, saving you money this football season.
Teaming up with Oak Ridge.
Hello, hey, this is Triple D again.
Triple D. I've never been happier to hear from you.
Huh?
Never been happier to hear from you, buddy. How are you?
Oh, yeah, I'm too blessed to be depressed, my man, and too blessed to be stressed, too anointed to be disappointed.
Well, I've been stressed for about the past half hour.
Oh, yeah, you shouldn't be. You're in the best seat in the house, and just keep up the good work. I just want to call concern. I went to church tonight, and that guy, whoever called in there earlier, very unclass. That ain't no place for no comment or no statement or like that. That as you know, like my mama said, prayer changes things, and I'm praying for whoever called and made them comments a while ago. There's no place for a friendly show, like a family-friendly show like you all got going on, and I admire y'all for cutting them off and getting rid of really a call like that, a caller. No place in society. We need Jesus. I mean, we talk football, but the most important man in this world is Jesus Christ.
Amen.
And people like that, it ain't no place. God, you know, we need to pray more and more because there's so much to pray for and so much to pray about. That's Triple D comments and his opinion about that. That's no place for no worrying society that you have to condemn and say things of that nature. No way.
Now, Triple D.
Like I say, I love y'all show and I like calling in, but never would I condemn any race. That just going over the line, way over the line.
Yeah, we completely agree with you. So I've got a comment I want to make on that as well. But first, before I do, I want to know.
I'll allude to the guy that texts you about even want to hear about the 90s. Well, I tell you what, I've been talking about the 2014-15 season. I don't want one and done. Like I said, Chase, my mama, bless her soul, she's gone now, but she didn't know the goal line from the goal post. So that means she didn't know nothing about no football. She can go 8-4. I just won't go get it. These last 3 years, that guy that texts in, we ain't talking about the 90s. We ain't talking what you done for me lately. And when you got a T. Higgins, the name of the game, utilize and maximize the talent you have. And if you don't utilize and maximize, you ain't gonna go too far.
It's all about that jockey.
Huh?
It's all about the jockey.
Yeah, the jockey. Yeah, I gotta state that analogy. That's Triple D analogy.
That's right.
The horse, the thoroughbred, is only good as the jockey that rides it.
That's exactly right.
You can take that to the bank.
Yep.
I guarantee you, when Secretary was dominating the races, Kentucky Derby, it had a jockey know what he was doing. If it didn't, it wouldn't have won the many races it won. The horse is only good as the jockey that rides, and that
that apply and pertain to college coaches, high school coaches, however you want to look at it, pro coaches. If you ain't a jockey that know what you're doing, you can be riding a thoroughbred and won't win. I guarantee you won't. And getting to UT, Butch Jones, I heard Queener say about a week ago, who is the coaches out there that you would consider? You just look down there at Duke at that David Cutcliffe. He's undefeated right now. Got one of the top defenses in the ACC and in the country. I think he'll be a good replacement for Butch Jones. I don't want to see Butch Jones fail. I'm a Tennessee fan. But if he take care of his business, recruiting is fine. But after you get him there, you got to utilize and maximize. They lost that game against Sparta. Won't want to beat a dead horse to death, but you had to utilize Kelly like you should have and not try to pass with it in the red zone. You get down there 8 times, you throw 8 times. Come on now, the field is short there. And you had a guy averaging 6 yards a carry, you should continue to feed him. And Butch Jones, like I say, he a second-tier coach at a first-tier program. Western Michigan, he'll be fine, but he at UT. And he got to do better than he's doing. But that's fine, he can recruit, but he got to utilize and maximize the talent that he gets when they come over there. It ain't no excuse like, I got some injured players, I got some player out. It's been coaches that had players before been hurt and still been successful. So, Chase, hey, I love your show. God bless you, and keep up the good work. And I'm going to let somebody else get on here and say a few words. So have a blessed night.
Thank you, sir.
Go ahead, caller, you're on the air.
Guys, it's hard to have that fast finger. I've tried to do it. Almost impossible.
Yeah, it is hard to have that fast finger, and it's a shame people want to call in a show that we're talking about high school and trying to promote kids and a community, and we get a call like that. So
well, there's idiots on every corner.
Yeah, that's
hey, listen, y'all, if our good friend was still with us, Mike Richard, he'd look at you and tell y'all look at the camera right now, and he'd tell you, don't get caught up in this hype, because what they're saying, Tennessee's going to get beat tomorrow, guys. That's the only way they stood. It's about 42-14.
God.
So we don't have no offense. So the ball's going to go down tomorrow, boys.
Yeah, I agree. I usually don't get Tennessee stuff right, and I've got to when I do, I've got to boast about it. And I think I called that Florida one pretty good the other night when I was on the phone with you all. And then last week I told you UMass that Tennessee will not. Butch Jones don't blow out people.
Right.
And you talking about a team that looked like a lot of turmoil and a lot of chemistry issues. That's what I watched last Saturday. But David, do you think our offensive line is as good as people thought it was going to be?
No, I don't think it's as good as you thought it's going to be. And Tennessee's averaging, I think, on offense 381 yards on offense, and their defense is giving up 382. So we're going to see a prolific running attack tomorrow, probably 3 deep at least. Could be 5 if they choose to play all 5 of them. I don't think they probably will, but I don't know that Tennessee can. First of all, we don't need to worry about their passing game. Can we stop their running game? And you're right. I think one of you made a comment who made a while ago about Georgia's defense, but Georgia might have one of the best defenses in the SEC right now, and that's including Alabama.
I think they got the second best defensive line in the SEC for sure. Yeah.
Well, that's a 7.5 point difference, I think. So there'll be a lot of people will take that 7.5 points because they think Tennessee's going to win them more. If you're going on the points, that's where Mike Richard would say, leave that alone. That's one you don't want to fool with. That's it's to set up games. So, I think Tennessee gets beat tomorrow, and I don't think it's going to be pretty. And it could be there's the talk. I don't know whether this is true or not. I think Chase said a while ago he might be owed $7 million on his contract. there's some talk if he gets beat tomorrow, Tennessee's got a bye the next week, that there could be somebody else coaching that team. That's what the talk's been all week.
Hey, were you shocked to know that the past 2 years for Tennessee football has been two of the best in the past 20?
The past 2 years?
Oh, yeah.
Have you not heard this, David, on 104.5 in Nashville? I was actually driving from Nashville to Murfreesboro.
Hope you didn't wreck.
And he made the comment that in the last 2 years, it has been two of the best years in the last 20 for University of Tennessee football program.
Well, if you're happy with, what he's been doing doing the winning 9 games and winning 8 games and winning the bowl game, yeah, but you got to go back to the whole depth of the program, back to when Philip Fulmer. And guys, y'all can talk about Philip Fulmer all you want to. You're not going to get me on his bandwagon, because I think he's really the one that put the ball program in the ditch. He wins the national championship, and then after that, he decides he gets on easy street. His recruiting goes way, way, way off the radar. It goes way down. So I think he started the demise, and it didn't help any with Lane Kiffin and then Dooley. I don't know why we hired Dooley. I'm amazed at that hire today. But this started a long time ago.
That hire is what hurt us the most.
That's got to go down as one of the worst hires in college football history.
Yeah.
I agree with you 100%. It probably does.
What was
so I don't know if Lane Kiffin stays there, guys, he might actually turn the program. He might have got it around if he hadn't got to put on probation first.
Absolutely.
So I don't know. It's just something to think about. But like I told you last week, Bush Jones is an 8-win guy, and that's about what you got.
A good year. You're right.
He is right. There's a lot of people correct. He's a great recruiter, but you don't see any improvement on the field. No development of players on the field. So I think that pretty much you can answer a lot of your questions if you just listen at some of the stuff and look at what's going on. If you're any type of fan, you can figure that out.
Yeah. We had a basketball coach at UT that won 20 games in a row for 4 years, went to 4 NCAA tournaments, told his fans and the media to go to Walmart if they weren't happy with his production. and he was at Walmart.
Yeah, they told him to kick rocks.
I'm worried Butch is going to get himself. The heat's not even been turned up yet.
No.
If he thinks the seat's hot, it ain't even the heater ain't even on.
Well, they talk about on local radio. He doesn't get as much flack as he could. I mean, for all the media for the most part is pretty fair to him, pretty kind to him.
He's on a lukewarm seat, if anything. I mean, he'll be Kevin Sumlin next year if he survives this year, which he probably will. And Chase is probably right. His buyout will be so huge. Tennessee's not going to be able to afford it. So he probably gets one more year, whether we want to or not. But now Triple D's not thinking too clear about coaches. We can find a coach. Coach Gaddis would be a great guy for that job.
Hey, if Coach Gaddis is the coach, the good thing is you'd probably be the director of football operations.
Man, think about that.
I bet he'd carry 3 or 4 buckets of water.
We know all the insides over there. We know that Shy Taylor got caught by a right hook from Nigel Warrior instead of he fell on a helmet.
I almost fell on a helmet coming in the studio. That does happen. Very dangerous.
I almost got tripped up by the brightness of this pink shirt.
Yeah, hey guys, I'll just say this: I wouldn't bet on Tennessee to win tomorrow. I wouldn't necessarily bet on them to lose neither, because you know what they say, they'll break your heart either way. Hey, good show, guys. Tonight, I know I've sat there, so I know how hard it is to cut people off. And I know y'all didn't. That wasn't nothing that was done on purpose. You tried to get him as fast as you could, and I feel for him. I really do. I've been in that same situation.
All right, David. Have a good night, buddy.
Hey, Cox, when you get done, give me a call.
I will. Call you on the way home.
All right.
Go ahead, caller. You on the air?
I got 2 things. This is a rumor.
This is my man right here.
JC interested in a football team.
Say that again.
There's a JC interested in a football team.
JC?
JC.
Okay.
That's just a rumor.
I'm afraid to ask who JC is.
Copeland, Jermaine Copeland, JC.
Okay. Welcome to the party,
That's a
Chase.
rumor. I heard that today.
Well, I don't know if you were watching.
I ain't been at home.
Oh, okay.
I just got here.
What's funny is I know nothing about Roane County, and I was just trying. I tried to rack my brain. I heard that he was interested in the football program, and then Aaron.
Yep, I heard the same thing.
He heard the same thing.
Yep.
I don't know where it would be, but I heard he wanted to get into coaching.
Well, he did coach in the
He
CFL.
coached up there at,
He was the CFL coach for a
football,
while.
So I just rumor I heard.
Yeah.
Now, Tennessee almost got beat last week.
Yeah.
You were almost right.
If their quarterback doesn't get hurt, if UMass's quarterback doesn't get hurt, I think Tennessee loses.
That second string
I
quarterback.
think Tennessee's going to lose the next 2 games.
Well, I can agree with you better than
And
that.
possibly next 3.
Gah. Don't do that to me.
You know what's funny about that Tennessee game last week is UMass misses the extra point.
I think a couple of plays. Let's see, Kelly dropping the pass. It looked like he just didn't want to catch it.
Yeah, well.
That's probably what he thought.
And then they're about the 2-yard line, somewhere like that.
What were you saying there, Aaron?
I was going to say what's interesting is UMass scores to make it 7-6. They missed the extra point, and it stays 7-6. And then there's I don't know if you saw the playback on it, but some people think that Aaron Medley missed his field goal.
Oh, there's no way he made that field goal.
And if he did, then we have a tie ball
He
game.
missed that field goal.
There's no way.
I know where you're talking about.
So if
just a little bit off to the right side.
Yeah. So if UMass makes their extra point and Aaron Medley actually gets that called as a miss, we have a tie ball game.
Okay, so here's my question, and I think I know the answer to my question, but I'm going to ask it anyway. Does it have to go between the uprights or over the upright?
It's got to go in between.
It's got to go in between.
But it can be right down the middle, but go over it. Is that what you're saying?
What I'm saying is you have the upright right there. If that ball crosses over the center of that upright, is it good or no good?
It can't be. You hold your hands up like you got it right there. It can't be right there on top of your hand.
So it's got to be inside my hand. The entire football or half the football?
It's going to be on the inside.
Okay. But if a ball hits the foul pole, it's a home run.
Right.
But if a football hits,
I think Tennessee will lose possibly next 3 games.
Well, let me say this: I may or may not have won a little bit of money at last week's football game, and it was the saddest I've ever been about winning money.
Next 3 games, I know. Yeah, next 3 games. You got Georgia, South Carolina, and Alabama.
Yep.
That's 3 games they could possibly lose.
If they lose the next 3,
it could be even the next 4 games.
Don't rip my heart
Is
out.
that not Southern Miss?
Hey, I'm just being honest. From what I've seen.
I got you. Well, caller, man, you have a good night, and we appreciate your.
I mean, I ain't been here. I ain't watched nothing. I've been gone. I just got in. I said, give me that bone.
You missed a doozy.
No, we appreciate a good call like you. We've had a rough night, and we appreciate a call, and you did call the UMass upset.
Yeah.
That didn't happen.
That didn't happen.
I'm going to watch Mississippi, whatever it is. I think it is. I ain't got my glasses. I can't see it. But anyway, I'm going to watch them the next couple of games, and I'll let you know 5 weeks what's going to happen about there.
All right. Hey, you have a good night. Thanks for being a call.
Y'all have a good one.
See you. I think that's all of them.
Okay.
I just want to run down here real quick, and then we'll bounce out of here. What do you think happens tomorrow, and what do you think Butch Jones's future looks like?
I think Tennessee loses, and the same thing I told Chase earlier in the show. Coming into the season, I don't think Tennessee beats Georgia because, Tennessee's won the last 2 games. I just don't think that they can beat Georgia again. Now, maybe they can. We'll see. This Tennessee team is just really, really hard to figure out. I don't really know what to expect out of them, but I do know that the atmosphere is going to be electric tomorrow. They're breaking out the gray jerseys. Tennessee plays well in gray jerseys.
But do we have to do those gimmick things to be a I mean, it seemed like we pulled some of this stuff out of their hat. Like we got to do that. We've got 100,000 people in Neyland Stadium. We got orange and white. What's wrong with that?
It's true, but the atmosphere.
I understand your point.
The atmosphere is better though when you do checker, or it seems to be. For the Florida game, the atmosphere was really, really good. For the Oklahoma game the year before, the atmosphere was really, really good. Yeah. So I really don't know what to expect. I'm not going to be surprised either way. I actually like 4 things. If Tennessee wins close, I'm not going to be surprised. Tennessee loses close, I'm not going to be surprised. Tennessee gets blown out, I'm not going to be surprised. Tennessee blows them out, I'm not going to be surprised. I have no clue what to expect. So I'll just leave it at that. I will say, though, I picked Georgia to win. But I can't give you a spread. I have no idea.
Chase, go ahead.
Like Aaron said, you don't know what to expect. I mean, just if you're just sense says they're going to get beat. They've done nothing in 3 games for you to think that they're going to win. And I mean, and if you can say, I'll just call you a sheep, or I just don't understand how you could think that they were going to win. And I mean, and when the season started, at best, I think this was a 50-50 game. If you roll through UMass and Indiana State and you edge out a win at Florida, we're going to beat Georgia.
Yeah.
And we're probably our fans probably feel the worst about any other fans about their team being 3-1.
Yeah.
Ask any other team that's 3-1 right now, and they're probably like, yeah, they're fired up about it. But I think we'll get beat tomorrow.
I do too. That caller went away. I think
probably good.
I think Butch is very limited on how much longer he's there. I think Georgia wins tomorrow. I think they dominate the line of scrimmage on both sides of the football. We have not developed a defensive line, and we've got recruits in. Our offensive line is not as good as we thought it was going to be, except one position. And that 5-star is a stud, and he's going to play in the NFL for a long time.
He's very good.
And our running back is an NFL running back.
Yes, he is.
And we've got one wide receiver that has come along nice. I don't know why Tyler Bird doesn't get the ball more. If you're not going to get the ball more, play him at DB.
I agree.
Because rumor is he's the best DB on the team.
Yeah.
And our secondary is not good enough. If they go play action against us, they're going to throw it when they want to.
Yeah.
Well, here we go. Okay.
Yeah. All right. That being said, Vols by 40. This has been the Mulch and More Friday Night Scoreboard. Thanks, everybody, for joining us. Again, we apologize for some of the phone calls that we had. We try to dump them as soon as we can. We don't condone. We don't accept any of that. It's all bad.
Yeah,
People like that to call in need lives.
Can I get on a soapbox really, really quick before we get out of here?
Yeah, but I can smell that pizza.
Yeah, me too. So I'm going to make this really quick. I think what happened was some kid just wanted to get a rise out of people. He called in. And I just want to say that if you're out there, it's not the right way to do it, because right now racial tensions in this country are at an extreme, and you don't know how hurtful something like, and you might be looking at that. It's not funny at all. It's really not, because you have people in this country that are scared of other people just because of the color of their skin, and that's not right. It shouldn't be like that. And saying something like that just reinforces some sort of idea that might not be there, especially here in East Tennessee. So we definitely don't condone something like that, and I hope that one day you grow up.
And when we dump phone calls like that and just go right to the next, it's not because it's okay we're taking the next call. It's because they don't deserve merit or time.
That's right. And so I don't want anyone out there, though, to think that we are ignoring the situation and we think it's okay, like Chase said. It's definitely not. And like I said, I hope whoever that kid was just wanted his 10 seconds of fame or whatever, I hope you grow up.
So
that's all I got to say about that.
Anyway, thank you for joining us. We'll be back next Friday to take your phone calls, take your comments, take your scores. This has been the Friday Night Scoreboard brought to you by Mulch and More. Good night.
Mulch & More in Midtown is your landscaping headquarters. Mulch & More offers mulch, the best topsoil in the area. All types of gravel, sand, pea gravel, either loose or in bags, creek rock, river rock, field stone, mountain mist stone, railroad cross ties, straw bales, fence posts, farm gates, and much more. Mulch & More offers backhoe and dump truck service. And Mulch & More can also demolish a house or building on your property, and they'll haul it off for you. Give Gary a call today at 865-740-5229 for Mulch & More in Midtown.
For 30 years, Reno Sporting Goods has been a leader in supplying the highest quality equipment and apparel for sports teams throughout East Tennessee. Athletes, fans, and coaches alike rely on the knowledge and experience that only Reno's can provide. For the best in team sports, shop Reno Sporting Goods.
Attention, all hunters, outdoorsmen, and preppers.
It's military surplus time at Hammers. You'll find over 20 different worldwide Army surplus items like ghillie suits, U.S. and Swiss sleeping bags, German safety vests, combat shirts, and more, priced from 99 cents to $69.95. Plus, there's our most popular item, 12x12 camo nets. Hurry, quantities are limited.
At ease. Now hurry to Hammers.
Smooth. Smooth cutting. And now even smoother riding. That's the Simplicity Lawn and Garden Tractors. Now with suspension. That's right. Simplicity is introducing suspension for residential lawn and garden tractors. The Suspension Comfort System.
S.L. Bowman & Sons, 524 North Front Street in Rockwood. Call 865-354-0600.
If you play team sports, you want the best gear and the top name brands. That's why at Reno Sporting Goods, we offer the best and safest gear from top manufacturers like Adidas, Russell, Wilson, and more. Reno Sporting Goods, your team dealer.
Evans Mortuary has been serving the needs of families in and around Roane County since 1976. As established members of our hometown community, we understand the security of dealing with people you know you can trust. We build our reputation on this trust. The Evans family appreciates the confidence the community has expressed in us over the years and will constantly strive to earn that favor. Evans Mortuary, 805 North Gateway.
We're the Oliver Springs cheerleaders hanging out at Oak Ridge Utility District getting ready for the big game.
O S H S O S H S O S H S go Cats go.
ORUD makes it easy with 0% financing. When it is your turn to host the big game, they have all of your appliance needs from ranges to refrigerators to make you the MVP of this season.
Football season means colder weather is just around the corner. Did you know that ORUD offers a credit for customers who convert their main heating source to a natural gas?
Tackle those dirty uniforms by purchasing a washer and dryer from ORUD. Natural gas dryers cost about half as much to operate as electric dryers, saving you money this football season.
Teaming up with Oak Ridge Utility and Natural Gas will have you calling all the right plays this year. Don't wait to make the switch. Call today. So now the only question is, what time is it?
It's high school football time in Tennessee.
I'm alive.
Good evening and welcome to Friday night.
here in Oliver Springs, where we have the Channel 12 Game of the Week. Glad to be with you tonight. A beautiful, beautiful night for football as the sun just sets down behind the Walden Ridge here. David Queener, and a game tonight, David, that's very interesting because both of these teams come into this game needing to win badly.
Yeah, I told Coach Tapp earlier, somebody will win tonight. Somebody will get another win tonight. Could be Oliver Springs' first one. I don't know if we're going to say it's a desperate win tonight, but it's pretty desperate for Harriman needs to win tonight if they're going to go to the playoffs probably.
Well, I mean,
they're going to need to get a win.
Yeah, I mean, this
Oliver Springs needs to get a win.
This is big. It's big. And again, you look at injuries. Harriman quarterback out tonight, and understand that we've got a transfer student that may be starting at quarterback.
He's warming up as of right now. If that's the case, looks like it.
Oliver Springs, when you look down on the field and you see the big guys in their jerseys and street clothes, that's not a good sign.
No, it's not. And sometimes when we come to these smaller schools like this one, and like these two right here in particular, and even Rockwood to a certain extent, we do see a lot of injuries this time of year. And it don't take but one or two, Ron, to really, I ain't gonna say devastate the team, but it really hurts the team really bad if you take somebody out, because most of these kids play both ways. A lot of them play both ways, or they do something on the special team. So it is a big loss.
It is, and again, it's just a big game, but because we're past the halfway mark. You look now, you look at the first half, and it wasn't what you wanted it to be, and you lost some games that you probably thought you should win. Well, now you're looking for something good to happen, some momentum to come along. This is the game that you're looking for momentum-wise.
It is, and it's, I understand from talking to some of the fans tonight that's been to most of the games that they feel like that Oz let one slip through their fingers last week, I believe. I don't know who they were playing. They felt like they got beat in the last minute maybe. This game they thought they should have won. Maybe another one or two they should have won. So, Harriman played a pretty tough schedule. I believe we were there when they played Cofield, and they had played Kingston already. And did we see them play Rockwood?
No.
I thought they were at Rockwood. I thought we seen them. I couldn't remember.
Harriman.
We
just
didn't
last week.
Just last week. I was right. It was last week. I mean, they've played a pretty tough schedule, so and which Oliver Springs has too. But still, that's part of it.
Well, I mean, you look at Oliver Springs, and they played Kingston, Northview Academy, Greenback, and Claiborne to get here. Now they have Harriman tonight, Sunbright, Oakdale, Cofield, and Midway. So with the exceptions of Cofield, what we just talked about, the win here tonight, David, could really catapult them with a little momentum, and they could win about 4 straight.
They could. You're right. That's what I'm saying. They need to win tonight.
Now the Blue Devils, the Blue Devils have Midway, Greenback, and Oakdale played. They can win. They can win the rest of their games. So.
Somebody needs to win.
Whoever wins tonight is going to get a little momentum to go into the last half of this season and maybe go out on a 3 or 4 game winning streak.
And then if somebody loses tonight, they still got a chance to turn their season around a little bit, but it's going to be a little bit more difficult, though. I mean, they'll have to fight to keep their team together. So we'll get to see what both teams are made of tonight for sure.
Well, and what happens, David, is another loss tonight. Then the weather starts changing. It gets a little colder. Practice isn't as much fun.
That's right.
Harder to get up on Friday nights then.
It is.
So it's much better to get a win here tonight and get these teams a little momentum. We've got some big games around the area tonight as well. Rockwood travels up the road to Oneida tonight, David. And,
big game.
And that is a big game. They have an opportunity to win there, and you're right back. You're looking at second place in the region.
I wouldn't want to be going to Oneida tonight for simple one reason. Oneida lost last week. I just wouldn't want to be going tonight. Any other night, yes, not tonight though. I just think it's bad time for Rockwood to be going up there. I think Coach Lambert probably was in the ear all week, probably upset. Be interesting tonight. See who wins that game. It will be interesting.
Well, and then on the other side, Rockwood comes off of a big win at Harriman. They get an extra night. Don't play on Friday night.
Get to go scout, too.
So get to go scout. And so they're coming off Big M. The momentum has shifted to them as well.
Well, they ought to feel good.
But Oneida's a terrible, terrible place to have to go play anytime.
Yeah, I mean, you just don't want – that just – you wouldn't want to go play anytime. But tonight, I just think tonight is the wrong night to be having to go up there. Do it next Friday night, and you're in better shape. Just not tonight. But, no, you're right, Ron. I mean, there's some big games in there tonight. The biggest one's probably a few miles from here up in Anderson County tonight. Anderson County and East Ridge tonight, the number 3 team in the state, the number 5 team in the state. We'll see if either one of them are for real tonight. And I'll tell you this. I know you went in there last week and didn't get to see AC, and you'll get to see them play later on in the year because I think we're up there one more time. AC's for real, bud. They're for real.
So you've changed your mind?
Well, I never did have my mind changed against AC. My mind was about the region they're in. That's a different story.
Well, but they've got a number 5 team in the state and in that region?
They've got right, there's another team in that region. So if you just look at their combined record against everybody, there's only I don't remember, 8 wins maybe or something like that. So that's not got anything to do with it. I'm just saying Anderson County as a team, I'm just looking at them as a team. They impressed me, man.
Okay.
Stanton Martin looked really good last week. And they've got 2 running backs, the Phillips kid, and there's a story within the story up at AC anyway that talking about the Phillips kid, he just has one eye. And has been that way for a while. And he can run the ball, buddy. And the Gallagher kid is a beast, and that's what we called him last week. He's got about 6 receivers they can throw to him. They've got an offensive and defensive line that's just plumb out nasty. I don't care. Right? I tell you, they're mean. Remember Coach Gillum said a couple or 3 years ago he didn't think he was physical enough. I don't think he has to worry about that now. It's a physical team. They're nasty up front. They play hard, and they're aggressive. So that's what Anderson County is. How far will they go in the playoffs? I don't know. They'll go as far as that'll take them, I guess. But I'm looking at a 3rd-round game with them and Greenville probably.
Very good. Well, let's take a break, and we'll come back and talk more about action around the area tonight.
It's time to look closer to home and energize America with fuel made in America. Natural gas is the cleaner, safer, more efficient, and more affordable energy choice. ORUD is your family's comfort provider. Natural gas is the responsible choice for your family, your wallet, and the environment. Gas is a great value, but it is also the best way to cook, heat your water, and warm your home. If you want the best for less, switch your house to natural gas.
In today's world, you don't stay in business long without providing exceptional customer service. The Duff family has been providing exceptional customer service for over 44 years. Our customers rate us highly, as shown by the fact we're the only dealer in Tennessee to have earned the Subaru Stellar Care Award for customer satisfaction 6 years in a row. Check our online reviews or ask your friends. They'll tell you to come to Earl Duff Subaru, where buying is a pleasure.
Choose 0% APR financing on all new 2017 Outback models for up to 63 months during the model year-end sale at Earl Duff Subaru in Harriman.
Reno Sporting Goods, your first choice for sports equipment. On the court, on the field, or in the stands, Reno's has the brand names you want. All the latest from Adidas, Under Armour, and more. From custom embroidery to screen printing, it's all about the game. For over 30 years, Reno Sporting Goods.
Planning a funeral can be difficult at best, but it can be a lot easier if you work with people who care. That's Davis Funeral Home in Harriman and Wartburg. Davis Funeral Home gives attention to every detail, ensuring your loved ones will be remembered with honor and integrity. Davis Funeral Home works very hard to give you the most professional service possible. Davis Funeral Homes, Morgan Avenue in Harriman and Old Mill Road in Wartburg. Davis Funeral Homes, people who care.
There's only one thing better than owning a Simplicity lawn tractor or zero-turn mower, and that's purchasing it at your neighborhood Simplicity dealer. It's like getting a free outdoor power equipment expert who will help you select, operate, and maintain your equipment for years to come. So visit your local Simplicity dealer today. and get a free expert with every purchase.
Mulch & More in Midtown is your landscaping headquarters. Mulch & More offers mulch, the best topsoil in the area, all types of gravel, sand, pea gravel, either loose or in bags, creek rock, river rock, field stone, mountain mist stone, railroad cross ties, straw bales, fence posts, farm gates, and much more. Mulch & More offers backhoe and dump truck service. And Mulch & More can also demolish a house or building on your property, and they'll haul it off for you. Give Gary a call today at 865-740-5229 for Mulch & More in Midtown.
The Harriman Utility Board provides electric, gas, water, and sewer services for the city of Harriman, as well as most of Roane and Morgan County. Major projects include an upgrade of our 161 kilovolt electric substation. Another ongoing project is the rehabilitation of an antiquated